The last time you were here with us, you fought off a band of giant sharks who attacked your ships for odd reasons. They seemed to have some form of intellect to them, but as you attempted to talk with them and reason with them, they responded to you in nothing but a babbling mush of words and in Aquan. You were able to defeat all of them before the ship was destroyed, some of you having to repair the ship as it was constantly assaulted upon its right side. Um, from there, you spent a few days more sailing, having some clearer weather, and utilizing this time to get to know each other a little bit better, or to scry, or to just look more within and have deeper conversations with the captain or anything of the sort. The weather has taken a turn for the worse as of late. The ship has been barely sailing at all, as Captain Nemi Namora has made sure that the ship is tucked up as much as it can to spend more time before the storm hits, repairing it and preparing for the great storm coming and trying to prevent from the ship from being capsized by a rogue wave. In the attempts during this to help as you could, Rowan, I believe you went out scouting and you saw well in the distance an impaled sunken vessel. You as a group decided to go and investigate it. It was the following morning, and Ori had her familiar fly out, and she saw a large freight-like vessel impaled by a coral spike sticking out of the ocean. The ship itself having two flags on it, that of Neverwinter and the other of Luskin. To bear some more information for you as well, things that you would note and know to make note of are two things. One, the name of the ship, and two, a branding you would see on the ship. The name of the vessel you can see is printed on the side as the Daring Reveille. And you can see a symbol on it that has an ornate T, and it has like a second T on the interior of it, so it's like a T with like a double layer, and then a CO on the side. For anyone who is more familiar with the mercantile trade between Neverwinter and Waterdeep, you would know this to be the Trisco Trading Company.
Ori does not know shit about that.
Calvin should.
All right. But with that, we'll kick back with Ori and your familiar, as you were the first one to lay eyes upon this impaled vessel.
Ori's eyes are gonna, the clouding's gonna fade away. She's gonna jolt. The ship. Ooh, we're gonna have a day ahead of us, guys. The ship has been impaled by coral.
You mean it ran aground?
No, I don't think so. I've never heard of anything like this before, but I don't know much about the seas. I'm sure Captain Nemi might know something.
Are there any sandbars that might be around that it may have come afoul with?
As you turn your gaze towards Nemi, you can kind of see her. She's got like a hand behind her ear, the other one just resting upon her hip. Her eyes are kind of like a bit more wide and concerned. As you kind of turn the attention to her, she snaps. No, not in this area. I'm not familiar with there being sandbars here. And you said it was impaled by coral?
One large spike, yes.
That's that's strange.
We've had two strange days in a row then.
She just glances back at the rest of you.
Another thing, Calvin, you seem to know more about trade than I do. Would you be able to recognize a ship on its flags?
Possibly.
It was flying the flags of both Neverwinter and Luskin.
That would normally mean a trade agreement, a joint venture.
Yes.
And we'll wait till I lay eyes on that to roll. But yeah, that would be my understanding of what dual flags like that would mean a joint venture.
Well,
Which one's on top?
which one's on top?
The Neverwinter flag's on top.
The
Which means it's a Neverwinter ship.
Well, shall we head over?
Yeah.
I'm game.
My idea is that there must have been a good reason for it to have been. I don't want to say attacked, but I'm guessing it's been attacked, and anything that's magical, I get dibs on.
I'm sorry, and what makes you the sole possessor of anything discovered by an entire party?
Well, I'm really curious. I mean, I'll give it to you if I can't use it, but I mean, I want to see how things work.
Oh, so unless you got some extra tricks up your sleeve, Temper, she'll be needed for identifying whatever it is anyway.
Well, lucky or unlucky for her, I do indeed have tricks up my sleeve. So she's welcome to inspect them if she wishes, but she should know she's not the only one that understands the internal mechanisms of how things work.
Why are you so grumpy all the time?
Calvin is literally going to start laughing.
Perhaps it's the company I keep.
Well, that sounds like a you problem more than a me problem.
Of that we can agree.
Calvin is actually going to laugh harder now. Which is been a hot minute.
Well, I can fly over there, but if anyone else has any ideas of how to get there...
Do you need to... Will you be expending resources to do that flight? Because I suspect Rowan should be able to get a couple of us on her steed.
Yeah, I can fly one at a time, probably.
We can give you a boat.
Or we could do that, and I can fly by myself.
She gestures towards one that's off the side.
Has the dinghy been named yet?
What did you say?
Has the boat been named yet?
The little boat?
Yeah.
She shakes her head. She says, "No, we have not. We haven't named them. We haven't had to use them yet."
Well, I'm gonna name it I'm gonna name it boat. I think boat's a good name.
Frankly, I think that would be a good way for you to lose a longboat, Captain.
Okay.
We should be able to make our way over there independently. Great. You get on the Griffin. Temper and I should be able to get over there just fine.
Are you able to get us closer without putting the ship in danger, so we don't have to make a fantastic voyage out of getting there?
Well, I believe so. Assuming that everything is static, no longer moving or anything, then yeah, it sounds like this is just kind of an odd thing. And as long as it's affected that ship but not the area, it'll be okay, I think. We'll have to sail a little closer, but it looks like there's some obscuring weather up ahead. As there seems to be a very just kind of low-hanging mist that sits right on the water with the darker skies.
Well, you could get us as close as you are comfortable with, but do not put your ship at risk just to get us a little closer.
She nods and she immediately gets to her crew and starts riling them up to bring down some of the sails to advance slowly forward towards the shipwreck.
Whenever we get to the location that she's going to end up anchoring the ship in, I'll take 10 minutes and ritually cast Water Walk on all of us.
Okay.
That'll work.
And it's up to 10 creatures, so I'll also do it on Nemi as well, just in case.
All right, so it's going to be about a half hour, a little more than a half hour later, and she says, and she'll immediately call for the sails to be rolled up and for anchor to be dropped, and says, "This is as far as we'll go." You can see now clearly the shipwreck, at least the spire that is sticking out of it of coral, that almost seems like a beacon from where you are to where the shipwreck may be, still a few hundred feet away.
Does
10
anyone want to
minutes
ride?
later.
I want to ride.
Okay.
All right, I'll climb around down and walk.
Same.
I'll take Ori on the Griffin.
All right. So you and Ori will be the first two then to reach the ship, as the rest of you go on foot.
Well, I should have asked, how are the seas currently?
Right now, everything is very still. There's a
Okay.
gentle like movement on the surface just from general tension, but everything is right now eerily still.
Okay. It's not super stormy where we
Mm-mm.
are.
And as there is this mist that is hanging low, it is not so thick as to not be able to see ahead of you and see kind of through, but it does haze your view.
Got it.
All right. Of course, the Griffin going about 3 times as fast on land, you will eventually fly above and fly over, and you will see the shipwreck from above. The ship at a 45-degree angle. The spire cutting right through it. The ship seems to be mainly in one whole piece, but a fair number of it is submerged.
As a point of order, I'm going to leave Opal on top of the one of the masts.
Okay.
Just if it comes up later.
Gotcha. And Rowan, you will see, of course, the same thing: the flags, the name of the ship, and the branding. That's
We
by the
circle
name.
down and we land on the ship.
All right. As you two are the first to arrive, you may wander goes you please. As you're on the deck, the wood is splintered. There's a gentle creak as your foot step. You can see other just kind of sea-like entities that have grown on it, moss and whatnot. It's signs of derelict age.
Should we wait for the others, Ori?
Yeah, let's wait. I'm also going to cast a spell ritually, so if you could please keep an eye out.
All right, I will do.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic, just ritually.
Okay. After a few minutes, while you're still in the middle of your ritual, the rest of you will find your way to the ship. Because it is partially sunken, you actually can go to the part that is sunken and use that to access the deck and walk on.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm. So you find yourself on this derelict deck that doesn't seem to have much on it anymore. Some stranglings of rope and things that were latched and bolted down, but everything it seems very undisturbed. You can see like the green sea moss grow over it, and other aspects of new coral formations, and other aspects of just the natural life of the sea beginning to eat away at this this wood and everything here.
Okay. I assume I now get the name and the company.
Indeed, it is the Daring Revulet, and you see the double T, the boom boom with another T under it, very ornate with CO on the side, which you know stands for the Trisco Trading Company. So the Trisco is a very high-end mercantile family out of Neverwinter.
Okay.
In particular, the person known is Bronson Trisco. All right. As you walk upon the deck, you will see Ori, who has set up on angle, but has been able to figure out how to sit to kind of keep everything to where she needs in place to perform a ritual that she seems to be in the middle of.
Okay. Can I go ahead and roll that history check or what have you for the name?
Please.
Perfect. That will be, and it was history.
Yeah, history.
23.
Okay. You know the Daring Revuelé is more of a known name. It is one of the largest trading vessels of the Trisco Trading Company. It has made port in Waterdeep many times. You do know it to be one of the names of the ships that went missing. And you know the captain's name as well. It
All right, 1
was,
second.
yeah. If the roll that good, you will know the captain's name.
Okay. Go ahead.
It is Bernard Trisco. Nephew of Bronson Trisco.
Who's head of family?
Mm-hmm. His eldest sister's son.
Could you give me his the head of family's first name again?
Bernard. Oh,
Bronson.
sorry, Bronson. Bronson, and this is Bernard.
Okay, perfect. All right. I'm immediately going into investigation.
All right, you're just gonna search the deck.
Yeah, starting at kind of like the sunken, damaged areas that I can access and
Okay.
search the deck.
All right. What's everyone else doing?
I wanted to just look as we're coming upon the ship. I wanted to see if there was any other obvious signs of damage to it besides where the pillar of coral is piercing it. If it seems like
Gotcha. Make a perception check for me, or an investigation. Investigation if you're getting more hands-on for minute detail. Perception for larger detail.
just larger as we were coming upon it before we even stepped
Perception it is.
up.
Rowan, grit.
I would like to explore the rest of the ship as much as I can.
Are you looking to head into any of the quarters, or actually head below deck?
Yes.
All right. So you can go. You have 4 choices here. You can go to the captain's quarters, the navigation room, the personal quarters, or to just general cargo.
I'd like to go to the captain's quarters, please.
Okay, you can absolutely go to the captain's quarters.
And I just got a 7, so I don't see anything of
Gotcha.
interest.
Nothing catches your eye in particular other than this giant pillar, which you find yourself constantly circling around and just kind of being a marvel of how perfectly it has pierced this. It
Yeah.
is a perfect, like, spear strike from the sea. Grit, what are you doing?
I am going to explore as well.
Where would you like to go?
I don't know.
You
Could
have
you really?
captain's quarters, navigation room, and charter room, personal quarters, or cargo.
I'm gonna go explore cargo.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to just set it on up, and then we will kind of rewind a little bit. So, Rowan, as you go into the captain's quarters, it's small but ornate. There's a beautifully handcrafted desk that is kind of slid off and slammed its way into the wall. There's several bookcases with a lot of books that, even to you, look of none of importance or value, just more of status. There is a small little table in the corner that has a particular statue on it that catches your eye.
What's the statue of?
It is roughly about a 16 by 16 in size statue made of coral and jade, along with other stone and gemstone. that seems to depict a ferocious sea creature. It has an elongated form, several tendrils with spiked ends on them, long tail and fins. They get very wispy near their ends, like that of like a koi. The head is large and bulbous. The mouth open and looking like a vortex, like a whirlpool of just teeth. Um, Three slithering tentacle-like tongues coming out of it. Even where you see the eyes, you see two additional smaller mouths similar to that first one. It has two appendages coming off its main form that look almost like deformed hands, like fingers that have just never fully developed, changing in all sorts of lengths. So like the middle finger only being like to the first knuckle, where like the third one goes out to where there would be a fourth knuckle, but seems to almost like have no bone in it. Very weird structure. And then where you would expect fingernails on a person, here you notice what you can really only describe as maybe like eyes or some sort of sensors, but it's a very grotesque sea monster of some variety,
Can
made
I
through these different materials.
can I like knowledge nature or something to try to see
You can absolutely try. Yes,
if like I recognize it as a creature of some kind?
yes, and we will
I
get
want
back
to
to you.
use.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
gonna use an inspiration.
You absolutely can. Okay, we're gonna get right back to you. We're gonna go over to Grit real quick. Grit, as you go down below deck and you make your way towards cargo, um, you'll see a lot of the cargo was pinned down via nets or actually via bolts. You will see a lot of cargo that is either floating in the water. You'll see a fair amount of cargo that is going to be beneath the water level as well. Um, and as you look around in general, you have boxes right in front of you, and then there seems to be a lot of room going up towards the starship that is not sunk. That seems to be open and available. Do you want to check the boxes right there, or do you want to traverse and travel deeper into the cargo room?
I'm gonna check the boxes that are around me.
Great. Roll a d10 for me, and with that, going back to Calvin. Calvin, what were you doing while still aboard up top?
I am basically starting a slow process of going over, like, in detail, the deck, and then I'll start going room by room until we get interrupted. Going
Okay.
at about half my speed, which means gives me advantage on my investigation checks.
We should go ahead and do that for the deck.
Those are both really terrible, which means I get 10, which means I get a 24.
Gotcha. Okay. Upon the deck, you notice nothing really peculiar or distinctive beyond the spire. You do notice a little bit of like some little scratchings into the woods here and there that look very old and very faded, and you can't tell if these were something that were done prior, or if these were like prior to whatever events may have happened, or if these are something that happened during an event. Um, but they do seem deeper. But you can't also tell if these are like claw marks or if these were like, humanoid nails. Um, it's hard to make out. You can tell. What you can tell is that all the events of anything that happened here happened several years ago, and that the age and wear and decay has made it very hard to discern the particulars of whatever event may happen. And there's nothing very distinctive, actually, at least upon the top side of what may have occurred. With that, or you will finish your ritual.
Hey, you guys didn't wait for me, you fuckers! And I'm going to run around at top speed looking to see if any blips go off.
All right, and you're doing detect magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You notice nothing as you kind of peruse the deck. You'll notice nothing. Where are you looking to go after there?
Whatever's closest. I'm just trying to cover as much ground as possible.
So that'll put you to where navigation is.
Okay.
And you're just kind of going in the ruins and seeing if you can see anything magical initially,
Yep.
and then bouncing to the next room if you don't.
Speed running through.
Gotcha. Okay, then we'll continue as such. Carl, where are you looking to head next?
Captain's quarters, probably.
Okay, and then that's gonna bring us to Temper. Temper, where are you looking to head?
I don't know if I can do this without necessarily having an actual conversation. Can I make some sort of? I want to try and guess if seeing something like this spire coming out of the ocean and the sharks acting weird the day before seems very out of the ordinary from everything we've been hearing from Nemi and just from your passing knowledge of how the world operates. And with Fleet's Wake having happened recently and stuff like that, can I make some sort of like religion check to see if this is something that like Umberly might be responsible for?
Absolutely.
Oh, speaking of
being
which,
a religious man like I am.
Prior to the walk, I would have flipped the gold into the ocean.
Okay.
Halfway through the walk, I would have dropped the gold into the ocean. And getting on the other ship, I would have yeeted another gold into the ocean.
Gotcha. Perfectly noted and gladly backtracked.
So a religion. So that is a. 1 second. Sorry. Religion. That is a 16.
All right. Weird elements with weather or with sea life or sea creatures is something that is noted to maybe happen when any of the sea gods or even Umberly in particular are in foul moods. A reflection of their attitudes or their demeanor. Usually there's more of a directive with it. It's usually not aimless. Nothing here screams to you of any direct significance or direct like nothing makes this make you feel like, oh, this is most definitely the aspects involving a god.
She didn't leave a calling card or like I told you so or anything.
Not in these kind of formations. You don't know anything off of your studies and your recollection that it would be like these formations. But something like a giant spire coming out of the sea of coral very much sounds like the vengeance of Umberly, though there is no noted. You know of no noted events. You have read of no noted events. You have heard of no noted events of her doing such a direct and malicious attack as such.
There's no dried kelp on like the side that says Umberly was here.
No.
Yeah, I thought maybe she might have like etched her symbol into the spire or something.
Yeah. Don't forget the bitch queen.
Yeah.
No, there's unfortunately none of that.
The bitch queen sends her regards.
Within your knowledge like that, you don't think that it would be something worth ruling out yet.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's not unplausible, but it's not. Oh yeah, that's definitely what happened here.
Yeah, but it definitely feels and kind of stinks of divine.
Sure.
Or just extreme nature magics.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And where do you think you're heading next?
I think I probably my first thought would be to go to the captain's quarters because there might be some sort of ledger or journal or something that might tell us what this ship was doing before it.
Gotcha. All right, Rowan. Rowan.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. One last thing.
Yeah.
I've just been on the deck at this point, kind of looking at the spire and stuff. So I haven't gone inside the ship yet, but I've seen no signs of bodies or any sort of previous life on this ship.
Nope.
So far,
no noted previous life. In fact, all of those who have entered other chambers, you as well have not seen any form of body or skeleton. Nothing of prior humanoid.
Okay, but yeah, I would just be going towards the captain's quarters just because they would have the most information of what was going on.
Calvin, you would know the crew of this ship would have been primarily human, with maybe some like half elf. All right, so Rowan, we'll go back to you. What did you get for your nature roll?
I got a 6, baby.
All right.
I got a 6.
You know of no creature that is like this based upon your knowledge. But as you kind of dance around and examining it, Calvin, you will walk in, and it's hard to ignore Rowan, who is staring very intently at a weird idol.
Okay, I make a note of that. I don't have any skills that pertain to Arcana, nature, or say religion.
Okay. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to start searching for signs of combat. as well as going through with a fine-tooth comb through like the captain's documents, his desk, his
Okay.
charts.
Please go ahead and make an investigation. Rowan, what are you doing elsewhere in the cabin? At this point, you'll see how Calvin has walked in and has immediately beelined it towards the captain's desk and started searching it.
I am enamored by this creature. I hardly looking away from it. I like say to Calvin, what is this magnificent beast?
I don't know, but I wouldn't touch it yet.
I've already been touching it, and I am not letting go.
All right. So what'd you get in the investigation, Calvin?
29.
You will find a lot of documentation. Some of it's just for dock masters. Some of it's for the equivalent of permits and other just random other things. You find a few other just like documentation you expect to find. Nothing too surprising. Nothing of information that you find to be of immediate importance or relevance. However, you do find a letter. That is still sealed with a wax print. The wax as you look at the back, you can see that the wax on the wax seal, parts of it have been kind of peeled off from the outside, which makes you think that this was resting maybe on like a wooden crate based on the pattern you see here, and it was pulled off a wooden crate. You get what I'm saying?
Somewhat.
The envelope was resting sealed down on like a wooden material, and so it was peeled off, and some of the wax came off, and you can see some of the wooden grain on it.
But still not enough to unseal it fully.
Yeah. It really is hit around like the ring of wax that's beyond it. So like the parts of the wax that stick beyond the embossment.
Okay.
So just pretty much you just know that this particular letter was attached to a some sort of package, some sort of crate or other thing, and was pulled off of it, but was never actually opened. And you can just see on the seal itself, it's nothing. It's a pretty basic seal. It's just of a singular letter, something that's very common in lower and middle noble classes, and it's just the letter J.
Sealed with the letter J. Uh-huh. Okay.
Clearly Gerlaxel.
Must be.
I mean, I don't get a lot of letters from him, although I probably get some letters from him, unfortunately.
You do.
I'm on his mailing list.
Calvin, every time he gets a letter, fucking Gerlaxel.
Gerlaxel's actually spelled with a G.
I'm assuming that it is not matched Gerlaxel's seal on his official letters that I've received.
Pronounced girl.
So, this is a very common, like, if you were to go out and buy a seal.
The letter J
seal?
as a seal, that would be it.
Yes, which is exactly what Jarlaxle uses.
All right.
Jarlaxle has a very ornate because it's very plain. It's very plain. It's very much like everyone else's. So, could it be the matches? Yes. In fact, as soon as you flip it and you see it, your heart stops and you feel nothing but just intense palpitations afterwards.
Okay. Any logs or ledgers in here?
No. You imagine that that may have been kept elsewhere.
That's fine. I was just checking.
As you kind of search, you have this particular envelope held in hand. Temper, you can come into the room where you'll see Calvin coming to a close with his search. So with that,
and Rowan admiring this creature.
Yes, and Rowan Amastacia. We'll kick back to that. Ori, you don't see anything glowing in the navigation room. You're just going to the nearest room next. That'll be the personal quarters. And as you peer very quickly in there, you will not see anything. At that point, you're pretty equidistant by either going up or down. If you want to go up to the captain's quarters or go down to the cargo, where would you like to go?
There's a bunch of nerds up there. I'm going down.
All right, you'll be going to cargo. Steven, what did you get on your D10?
5.
5.
Wants to study magic items and knows how they work. Calls everyone else a nerd.
So you open up the first box using whatever tool you may have. I'm not going to worry about having you roll for it. As you open it, it's a decently sized box, right? And it is full of brimstone. High quality brimstone.
Sulfur.
As soon as you hit it, the smell hits you in the face. Just makes you go immediately cough. Yeah, like that.
Dragon's breath. Got it. Okay. I'll continue searching the area.
You want to open up some other crates?
Yeah.
Give me 3 more D10 rolls. Actually, give me 3 D8 rolls.
D8?
Yeah, let's do 3 D8 rolls.
How many files?
That's how much damage you're going to take.
Yeah, when this explodes, right? I got a 3, a 5, an 8. You said 4?
Okay. That 3. 3's fine.
Okay.
So the first one you open up, you're picking interesting ones. The first one you open up, it is a crate that is full of nothing but manacles.
Interesting.
Nothing fancy or anything like that, just kind of standard manacles. The next one you open up, you can see it's a lot of packing straw, and amongst it are going to be cases, bottles. And as you kind of open it, you smell it, you can tell that it is high quality oil. And then another one that you see are a lot of clear vials that are very neatly packed in there. As what you can tell, it is all high quality ink.
Question: the oil is it like food oil or like the other kind of oil, like flask oil?
It is a high quality burning oil.
Okay.
It is not designed to be put on food.
But you could.
Yes, you absolutely could.
Same with the brimstone.
Yeah, and
I
then
will pocket a bottle of that oil.
go ahead. Please give yourself a bottle of high quality oil. And then yeah, there's a crate of nothing but fine ink. I mean, we're talking like this ink is pristine.
And I'm gonna pocket that too.
You can pocket as many vials of ink as you like.
I imagine my carrying capacity is not that high.
It's up to you. We're not really worrying about it in this campaign.
Okay.
You can enjoy abusing it this campaign because you won't be able to next game.
Damn it. All right.
So
I will add those to my thing.
all right, cool. You can continue to search other boxes and find different things, or you continue to explore the cargo room, or you can choose to leave.
I'm gonna continue exploring the cargo room. I'm not gonna open any more boxes.
Okay, cool. When we will get back to you in a minute, we're gonna go back up to the captain's quarters.
As soon as I walked in and saw that Calvin and Rowan were already scouring it, I probably would have dipped out fairly quickly, seeing that this ring is being well
I would
covered.
just looking up, and it's like, any idea? As I kind of put myself over my shoulder at the idol.
What options did she have to roll for? that
She was not
creature.
provided with any options. She chose to do nature.
Yeah.
okay.
Temper. I show you the statue and I say, "What is this massive BC?"
Yo, mama.
Temper looks over the grotesque statue presented to him. Would Temper have any way of knowing what the heck this is?
No, Temper would have no idea what this thing is. You've never seen anything or a sculpture like it in your life.
Sorry to say, I have no clue what foul creature you're possessing currently.
I want to fight it.
I don't think it'll put up much of a fight. It's a statue.
Well, not the statue, silly.
That was a joke.
Some of the statues back home can put up fights. Calvin says as he's pulling out a dagger.
Whatever creature this statue was meant to represent, I don't think we want to come face to face with its inspiration.
I don't know about that. I think it would be really interesting to fight.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time you've taken down a sea creature, from what I hear.
I've taken one down before.
Well, I'll let you handle it if it shows up then.
Okay.
seems that you guys have thoroughly scrubbed over this room. Did you find anything of interest in his personal belongings? Or her personal belongings?
I point at the letter that I have in front of me on the desk as I'm pulling out my tinderbox, lighting it, and holding it under my dagger to heat up an edge. I'm going to attempt to unseal the letter without ruining the seal.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check for me. Make sure you got those nimble fingers, those steady hands.
That will be a 24.
You will be able to do so perfectly. Something you've done many times.
A very practiced skill.
You unseal it, and you will be able to unravel the letter. Is this something you will read to yourself, or is this something you will read aloud?
I will read it to myself first.
Then we will go private.
Yay! Bye, fuckers.
All right. So you open the letter, and I will read to you as such. I can send you a copy of this as well, but I thought I would say it aloud for those who are watching our stream or watch our YouTube. To my dearest Captain Bernard Trisco, I wish you and the daring Revulet the safest travels as you traverse the Sword Coast. It has come to my understanding you plan to make port in Luskan and Neverwinter with some of my wares, so I come bearing a gift for my own reassurance. You may be curious of this peculiar idol, and it would be my delight to enlighten you on its history and proper use. As you may have heard from your travels, or those of your company no doubt, the waters around Luskan have become troubled as of late. Quite the phenomena. The locals have come to think of it as a revolution led by the sea and by the very creature depicted before you. You may call it Narothio, the given name by neighboring Kuatoa. For your safety, do not take this lightly. I come to you with worry and concern, so I hope you return my efforts with respect and willingness. Before you are to eat, please say a brief prayer to Narothio. I have prepared an old Luskan verse to express this prayer. Ola sas chairetun tostoma tis thalasas katapine tiji. Sas efcharisto epiteriste mo na katanaloso opos echete kai na taxidepeste sto soma sa choris orge ithe iepina sas na koriste kai o ipinos sas na min diterachite. Please keep these words close and said often, and I assure you the seas and winds will be at your back and your flags raised high. Safe travels. Your humble servant, J.
Do I recognize that as actual Luskan as a language?
It is not a language that you recognize.
Okay.
You can maybe, as looking at initially, it does state Old Luskan, so maybe it is a form of tongue that is of a dead language that maybe once was Luskan.
Okay.
So I'm gonna unwhisper you unless you have any particular questions.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. I will I'll give it a read over again when you send it. And
Make an intelligence roll.
Just a straight intelligence.
Yep.
God, that was awful.
Yep.
That will be 7.
Okay, that's it.
It's the weirdest D&D game ever.
All right, we're back.
I will relay that Jay gifted that idol to the captain with a specific prayer to be recited prior to meals. It's guardian, some sort of guardian of the waters near Luskan.
This is a guardian?
I use the term loosely.
It seems like a beastie to fight.
Many guardians are.
Well, obviously, just looking at it, I
Yep.
would have gathered anything. But do I know anything about some guardian of Luskin? Did I hear any stories being told about such a thing?
No.
And it was
No, I think we talked about how you maybe heard very loosely about weird water fair happening, but like very, very like small
yeah.
whatever stuff.
It was fisherman tales. Like it wasn't.
Yes. Yeah, but
It wasn't
nothing.
anything of like significant note of like praise the guardian or any whatever the hell.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
Okay, just making
it
sure.
named it Neruthia.
It
Oh,
is Nerotheo. It is Nerotheo. Nerotheo.
One more time.
Nerotheo. Nerotheo. So like Nero, Theo.
Theo.
You know,
Nero.
two absolutely batshit people that you've either known in a D&D game or within history.
Hey,
Hey.
Okay. So, Nero Thero, ring any bells to either of you?
Not a guardian belongs.
well, the statue is too big to take with me, so I guess I'll just leave it here.
I'll leave. That was weird.
Question. You said the letter had some sort of prayer before meals?
Yeah. If you want to take a look.
I'll take a look at the letter.
All right, now you have the letter, which I can send this to you.
Sure.
Do you want me to actually read the letter aloud so everyone can actually hear it, or do you wish for me to just cliff note it for you?
I'm just specifically skimming until I get to the instructions of what the prayer is. So I mean,
Gotcha.
I would probably just read it aloud whenever I got it, at least to the people in the room.
Gotcha. Then I will gladly read that part aloud. Again. So, it pretty much just seems to be a letter from someone who has invested interest in the ship as it's carrying some of their wares. Lets them know a little bit about this creature. It's under the name of Nerotheo, as the given name by neighboring Kuatoa. Pretty much says, please do not take this lightly, and then it says, before you are to eat, please say a brief prayer to Nerotheo. I prepared an old Luskin verse to express this prayer. That reads as following. Ola sas cheriton, dostoma tis dalasas, po katapine tiji. Sas efrashisto epiteriste mo na catalanoso opos echete kai nai taxiti depsete sto stoma sas choris orgi ithe I piena sas na coriste kai o ebienos sas na min dia charachte.
Kazunte.
Thank you.
Jeez.
I've
Would
read it
I
aloud
know?
4 times.
Do I recognize that language besides just sounding it out? It being probably spelled in common. Do I recognize the verbiage as any particular language? Because it's clearly not common.
Well, it says that it's Old Luskin on sheet, but that's what it claims to be. You can make a history roll. I guess would be the best roll to try and discern it.
Yeah.
History or Arcana, if you believe that it's magic in origin, or history if you believe that it is more.
I would assume history because it just says Old Luskin.
Yeah, if that's an option, I'd like to make that check as well.
Please, you both may do so.
That's not very good though.
19.
That's better than me. My history check is 13.
All right. Well, Carl, you would know this. Temper, you just can't put it together. It doesn't make sense.
No.
There's no such thing as Old Luskin. Luskin is a newer nation, and particularly for the longest time, a pirate nation. There is no the only thing predecessing Luskin would be the natural inhabitants beforehand, which were more bestial and seafaring creatures. So maybe this is related to the Tritons, maybe this is related to the Kuatoa, maybe this is related to lizard people, but it doesn't make sense. Old Luskin isn't a thing.
But he doesn't specifically recognize, like, oh, this is Aquan or whatever.
He
Like,
does
he
not
doesn't know a
recognize.
specific language. He just knows Old Luskin is bullshit.
Correct, Kenny. Luskin is just Latin. Actually, for those who want to know, that was all written in Greek. That
I
I,
was,
huh?
I was wondering.
But yeah. So with what language it may actually be,
We're not certain.
you do not discern it to be a humanoid language.
Good to know. I gesture for the letter back.
I burn it up in my hands. No, I hand it back.
Good. I reattach the seal as best I can. Pull out a journal notebook thing that I keep on my person. Unlock it. Stick the letter in it. Close it.
Okay.
Lock it. Put it back.
Oh, Temper. Temper, will you make an intelligence check for me?
Just straight intelligence?
Yes.
While doing that, while you're making that, I mention Old Luskin isn't a real language.
Didn't sound like anything I'd ever heard of, so that checks out. 10 for the intelligence check.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that whatever good reading that prayer and having this statue may have been, doesn't seem that it did them much good in the end if they ended up here, so perhaps we just leave it here.
It's possible they didn't heed the advice.
Or it's possible they did, and it was all a ruse.
Carl, if you'll make an intelligence check for me.
Yep. Much better. That is a 21.
Okay. One, the letter was sealed. Unless they've been resealing themselves.
Duh.
That would very clearly let you know that they have never read it nor heeded the advice.
That wasn't Calvin making an intelligence check. That was Kris and Carl making intelligence checks. And Kris was
that was just being like,
but
yes,
because
very
that
clearly indicated to me.
But if that letter's that roll is so good, on the intelligence check that you failed before, I will allow you a reroll. As you're thinking about it, and thinking hard, and using your deductive, super smart brain.
Even better. 23.
The sign off on the letter, your humble servant -J, you have seen before in a letter that was issued to the Open Lord Laeral Silverhand 4 years ago.
So I have essentially a handwriting match.
So
could we be taking this prayer seriously or what?
So you're literally going to watch him have just put away in his like weatherproof, notebook. He's going to reach back in, pull it out, unlock it, unseal the letter again, look at it again, and be like, "Fuck."
What's wrong, Calvin?
Did you remember how to speak Old Luskin?
They never performed the ritual. They never read the letter. It's been sealed this whole time. And 2,
yeah, that would make sense.
This matches.
I was not aware it was sealed before. That would have been great information.
I literally just hold it up in front of Temper and point to the overly aggressively, and point to the handwriting at the bottom, the sign off. It's like, and that is the same sign off and handwriting that Jarlaxle used in his his letter to the Open Lord 4 years ago when he came back. Because that would be when it was incoming, returning to the city, right?
When he was first there, yeah. When you had your bout with him all those years ago.
I should be thrilled that you believe me that Jarlaxle has been behind things, but unfortunately, you're not the person I'm trying to prove that to.
Yeah, but this helps.
What is he behind exactly? He wanted them to say a prayer? I don't understand.
But they clearly didn't if the letter was in fact sealed.
But were you supposed to say the prayer? What would the prayer do?
Prayer before meals. Protect people, is what it claims.
But we don't know if it was specific to this ship or anyone. I've been to Luskin. I've heard of no guardian. So, and we're not even in Luskin. What would that have to do with the fact that they ran afoul on this bizarre coral spire?
I don't know. There may not be a connection, but it is interesting. Before I put my notebook
Taking
away,
the idol? Are we smashing the idol? Are we chucking it in the sea? Are we bowing down and saying a prayer before our meals? What are we doing?
you're the religious expert.
I'm the religious expert when it comes to a specific dwarven deity. When it comes to whatever the hell this is, I have no idea.
I say we give it to the sea. It belongs in the ocean.
That's fine by me either way.
How
And
big is this?
I'm taking notes on the size and dimensions in my shorthand in my notebook.
What was your question, Dipper?
The general size and weight of this idol?
It is 16 inches by 16 inches. It weighs about 25 pounds.
Okay, so I mean it's big, but it's not a huge thing. It's just
It's dense.
it would be a very expensive sideshow statue. Got it.
One other thing I would have been looking for in this office, signet rings, family jewelry.
Gotcha. In which you would find none.
That's odd.
All right, and with that, we're going to pause from everyone in the captain's quarters, go back to the cargo. Grit, you were looking to further explore. Ori, you will walk down, and as you walk down, you can hear the footsteps of Grit in the distance, further and deeper into the cargo room. You will initially look about, and you will see that there have been a few crates that the lids have been tossed aside, that you will see that be open. Though with your initial glance, you see nothing of magical value. What are you looking to do down here, or you plan to explore the rest of cargo, or do you want to actually go through the crates that Grit has rifled through? Do you want to open new crates?
I'm going to yell out very loudly, "Hark! There are vagrants afoot!" And I'm going to look through the crates very quickly.
Right, through the crates that are open, you will find the brimstone, the oil, the manacles, and also the ink.
I'm going to grab as much ink as I can and put it in my bag of holding.
Okay, the crate has, in particular, $2,000 worth of high-quality ink.
I'm going to just take my bag and just scoop it.
But what does that translate to in terms of grabbing?
I just grab all of the ink.
Gotcha. You just fill up however much, add as much ink into your inventory as you feel is reasonable. And as you're doing that, we're going to go back to Grit. Grit, you begin to continue to explore. You're noticing more and more boxes. You can open any of these boxes you like, or you can continue to explore.
I'm gonna continue.
Okay. You continue to explore, and then you reach the back of the room, and you notice something odd and strange about it from a distance that immediately draws you to it. So it narrows down to this 20 by 20 foot wall. Or 20 by 10 foot wall. And it's completely made of metal. And in the middle of it is a doorway, a double door. Made also of metal, but it almost has like keystones built up around an arch pattern. On the left and right side of it, you will notice 6 distinct symbols that you do not, based on the languages you know, do not dictate anything particular about it. On the center of the door, you notice 4 large, about yay big diameter circular baubles that kind of pop out like small little hemisphered domes. And there's 4 in the dead center of the door. On the right side of the door, of those baubles, those little outsets, you will notice 4 small ones, about a quarter size each, that also are sticking out of the doors, just like little rivets. Also, between these built-in keystones, you will notice above it 5 small circular ones, about yay big each, and then another 5 beneath it, about yay size each.
Would Grit have heard me yell, "Hark, there are vagrants"?
I mean, he would have.
Yeah. I'm going to. I don't know. I'm gonna touch the door.
All right, where are you touching the door?
On the right side.
All right, just anywhere in particular?
No, just wherever my hand falls. I guess.
So like you could touch like you could touch kind of like the faux stone kind of archway. You could touch one of the runes on the faux stone archway. Uh, Either or. Permission. The question is, do you want to touch a rune, or do you not want to touch a rune? Do you want to like
Let's touch that ruin.
You touch one of the runes, and it glows.
Now we need to reset the password.
What do you do then?
So, I'm not touching another one.
Another rune?
Yeah.
You touch a rune. The first rune that you touched, it stops glowing. The new rune you touch begins glowing.
Huh. I'm gonna try to open the door.
Thought I'd show off Puppy to camera because she was being adorable. All right, you're gonna try touching the door. Any particular area you're touching the door?
I want to try opening the door.
Oh, pushing it open.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're touching a rune on the right side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
Why with all these random sized dice?
Re-roll it if it is 1, 2, or 3.
I got 6.
Okay.
These are standard dice that we use for this game, Steven.
As you place your hands in your door, begin to push it. It does not budge, but your hand does touch a bit of that first bobble, that first kind of out, like first large sized bubble. And as you do, the rune that you touch starts glowing in that location. And the rune that you touched is also now no longer glowing.
So on the on the right hand side was the thing that I touched, and it started glowing. And on the left hand side, the bauble things that are sticking out are now glowing. Right?
So now, if you're looking at the door, you have the 4 center bubbles, the large ones. On the first one that your hand barely grazed now has a symbol on it that was not there prior, glowing on it, which was the last symbol that you touched. That is now the only thing glowing on the door. All other symbols you have touched are no longer glowing.
Okay. I'm going to try to touch a different symbol on the left-hand side and then touch another one of those baubles in succession. Touch.
Okay, are you doing it at random?
Yeah.
All right. Roll me, if you're doing it from the left-hand side, roll me a d6 and re-roll it if it is a 4 or greater.
It's exactly a 4, so we're re-rolling. It's a 4 again. Now it's a 3.
All right. You touch one of them, and you touch the second. And you're touching the second bubble now.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. That second bubble glows with the rune of the third rune you touched of the on that rune you touched on the left-hand side. So it's very much just like you touch it, it glows here. You touch it, it now shows up here. With that, Ori, what are you doing down here?
Would I be able to see the glowing?
You've been looking around in these boxes and piling things, so no. You are still at the very beginning of the cargo rooms. What are you doing down here?
I'm going to start cracking open some more crates.
Great. Let me see. Let me bring up my sheet here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll me a d6. You can roll. How many crates you want to open?
I don't know. How many can I open?
I mean, you can open until you feel satisfied, or you can just open just a few. I mean, that depends on how much time you wish to be opening crates.
You know what? I'm going to open some crates.
All right. Then if you're going to spend a lot of time opening crates, there's no worries with that. I will just tell you, you'll be opening 5 different crates and finding 5 different things.
Okay.
So you'll be opening more than 5 different crates, but you'll be opening crates until you find these 5 things, and this is when you will feel satiated that you've seen pretty much everything down here. So that being stated, you are now have conducted a full and thorough investigation of the cargo and everything that it contains. And for what it looks like, it contains boxes of simple clothing,
Oh,
boxes of dry rations that have a long expiration dates, boxes of manacles,
oh.
plenty of boxes of high quality charcoal, brimstone, oil, incense, and ink, and a singular box of what is now rotten herbs.
I'm gonna take some incense, and then I'm going to wander deeper into the storage.
Okay, that's going to take you a lot of time going through all the boxes. Of course, take as much incense as you like. All the way up. For instance-wise, you can take all the way up, whatever you feel like is appropriate for how much you can carry, but you can take all the way up to 2 grand worth.
Okay.
So
Just leave a tiny little tidbit to like categorize what was in there.
right, yeah. But I mean, keep in mind these are large, like these are cargo crates.
Right. So these
all
aren't fine incense.
Hmm?
So these aren't fine incense. They're more.
They are fine incense. Everything you are finding, you can use in magic.
Okay.
Like this is a component wet dream.
Yeah, that's why I'm going crazy right now.
Yeah, perfectly understandable. Like these are inks you can use for magic. These are incense you could use for your familiar. These are different forms of oil, brimstones, charcoals, and things like that you could use for your different spells and things of that nature. These are the collection of high quality ingredients, and then low quality food, clothing, and manacles.
I'm also going to take a little bit of charcoal and brimstone.
Yeah, go ahead. Just whatever gold value amount you're looking for, you absolutely can take. Even that the herbs were probably, as you can assume with everything, were probably of a finer quality. Probably also designed for that of a magic use. So that's gonna take you a lot of time. Steve, we're gonna get back to you. I'm gonna let you think about that door a little bit, so you can figure out and plan out your path a little. Actually, we'll just finish up with you because you've done 2. What are you doing next?
I've got 2 left, right?
There are 2 bubbles that are not glowing. You have so far touched the 6th symbol and the 3rd symbol, and you have made the pattern 6th symbol, 3rd symbol.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the rest of them.
Okay, which ones are you touching? If you like the symbols, you can just tell me 1 through 6. You can randomly roll 1 through 6 to decide which one, or you can just tell me left or right, however you wish to do it. There are 6 symbols, and they're just gonna be 1 through 6.
I want to try to use one of the ones that I've already used.
Okay.
So I forgot which one you said that was.
You've done 6, 3 so far.
So let's do another 6.
So you do 6, 3, 6.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
it lights up.
You light it. You do the same thing. It shows up. So you have the 6th symbol, the 3rd symbol, and then the 6th symbol again.
Okay, and then I'll do 1 for the 4th thing.
Okay, you touch the 1st symbol, and you touch that. As soon as you do, you see the whole thing glow, and then you'll see the 4 small quarter-sized bubbles. 2 of them are going to light up green, and then you'll see the 5 like sand dollar size bubbles. One of them's going to light up red.
So, okay, 2 on the wall. So 2 on the baubles light up red, and 1 on the archway lights. Or sorry.
So there's 4 central bubbles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 boom. Next to the 4 bubbles is a square of 4 small bubbles.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of those have lit up green.
Okay.
Now above these in total, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are these like sand dollar size bubbles, and 1 of those have lit up red out of those 10.
Okay. So
Doggos, what are you doing?
They're playing here in my room with each other.
Will you stop? We're trying to play D&D.
You though.
All right. So there's. Sorry, Bo, to make you repeat it one more time. Just want to make sure I have it. There's 10 sand dollar size bubbles.
I'm gonna make sure Heidi goes out, but also getting away from the dog, so less noise. So ask again.
there are 10 sand dollar size bubbles above the door, one of which is turned red.
Yep.
There are 4 smaller bubbles in a box to the side. 2 of them are green.
Right.
Yep.
And then there are 4 large bubbles on the door itself, and then there are 6 symbols around the door.
That is 100% correct. And the four large circles on the front of the door are where he's put these symbols, which you will notice after about 20 seconds of looking at this, they will fade. The 2 green lit ones will fade, but the red one stays.
Okay. All right. So Kris, I think, understands generally what's going on. But
I get it. Grit is going to
Temper's not there.
stop. And he is going to turn around, and I am going to go find the rest of the party.
All right. As you make your way back through the cargo hold, you will find Ori, who has been opening up several more crates.
Cool.
I'm a pirate.
Uh,
I got some brimstone for temper.
It's
I'm
like
sure he'll enjoy that.
Kris was going to go downstairs and grab a bag full of brimstone.
Anyway, what did you say, Grit? Back to Ori?
I said I'm sure he'll enjoy that.
Okay.
God damn
And he's going to continue on.
Did you find anything interesting in the back?
I found the door,
Oh yeah? Did you open
I
it?
think. No, it looks like it's locked magically. Man, that's really hard to see magically.
Well, I'm gonna go play with it, and you're gonna see me run towards the door.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Don't worry, I only have good ideas.
Whatever.
So do you go find everyone else?
Yeah.
Do you do so at a normal pace, or do you hurry your pace?
I'm hurrying.
Okay.
It wasn't a normal pace, and then Ori ran off, and then it became a hurry thing.
And my hurry is like 120 feet around, so or 110 feet around.
So
So
you're gonna be fucking bolting. You could even use one of your key to go 165 if you like.
oh shit, yeah, that's
And
right.
and when you do it, you fly.
That's another skill. But yeah, I could.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the same skill. You can still do it, and then you can fly.
No, I have to pay for it separately. I have to pay for it
You want to
separately.
watch me run to the ship and back?
I thought you could use it as many
Do it
times as your
again?
proficiency bonus. I don't think it's an additional key.
It's a usage thing.
Yeah. You have 5 uses of it.
Yeah. So I technically have to pay for it.
Yeah. You gotta mark down use. Anyway, so you go quickly, running to join the rest of the group. To go find them, which we'll go ahead and do that. Everyone else, you're still in the captain's quarters. What are you doing from here?
I would be going to navigation next. The chart room.
All right. So you'll make your way to the chart room where there's a lot of loose papers out and about here. You definitely can tell this has a lot of the information, more of what you were looking for. How about Temper and Rowan?
I would like to go up to the main deck and take the statue with me so I can toss it overboard.
Curiosity.
Okay, so you go up to the main deck. With that, you're gonna see Rowan. You're gonna see Grit, kind of bustling out, and Rowan is the first one you're gonna see.
Hey, no, can't do it. I can't do ours. I'm just gonna walk. I'm gonna run past him. I'm specifically looking for Temper and Calvin.
Okay. So you see Grit just absolutely bolt past you.
Grit, what's going on?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
All right, but you can make your way to the edge of the ship.
I lift it high, like very ceremoniously,
Mm-hmm.
and then I drop it into the ocean.
Oh, I wish we had discussed it more. Oh.
All right. With that, you lift it high and you drop it as you see it hit the surface of the water, and then slowly begins to sink into the unfathomable dark depths.
Bloop, bloop.
I just whisper to myself, "Goodbye, beastie."
Temper, what are you doing?
Assuming that Rowan was just going to probably go and put that on the deck, not realizing that she was taking the full initiative to go ahead and just dump it. I think Temper would have continued to go further into the ship to see, what all that was to see, and see if there's any more clues he could pick up of why this would happen. And
Gotcha. Would you have gone with Carl to the chart room, or would you have gone to the personal quarters or to the cargo room?
I think I would probably continue looking through the quarters of the individuals on the ship before going into, kind of systematically working my way down instead of skipping over stuff, but trying to get more of the. I'm more concerned with like the human story of what exactly was happening here for clues more than I am thinking about what the ship was carrying.
Gotcha. Make an investigation check.
I don't know that this is a trading ship or anything like that.
If you will, make an investigation check for me then.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
With that, Grit, you will run and you will catch Calvin as you begin in the navigation room. You will hear fast steps approaching from behind you, and you will see Grit turn the corner and see you.
Okay. My hand had flashed to my sword on the fast steps. Identified Grit. Release sword.
Calvin, I found a door downstairs in the cargo hold.
And what makes the door special?
There's magical. It's like there's magical symbols on there or something.
Did you alert Ori?
She was already down there, so I just kind of let her stay down there.
Kelvin's gonna look perplexed. It's like, all right. You and Temper have that way work with Ori, see if we can figure out what's going on with the door. I'll be down as soon as I check the chart room.
Okay. You know where Temper is?
And I'll turn around. He was right behind me a second ago. In fact, actually, my passive perception.
You know which way. You know which way he went.
It looks like he went
I'm
towards
also
the
in full
doors.
plate armor. I'm not exactly quiet as I walk around.
Yeah, between those two things, I figure I know exactly where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And I direct him to you, or you to him.
I got a 7 on my investigation.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So Grit, you go bounding off.
Yep.
And you will find Temper as he's kind of beginning to look through these personal quarters of whomever was residing within the ship prior.
Hey, Temper.
As Temper is like looking underneath a mattress of one of the bunks. Huh? What is it?
I think I found a magical. Oh man, this voice is really falling apart.
Next day.
Block. I think I found a a magical door in the bottom of the boat.
There's a magic door on a ship.
Yeah, I couldn't get it open, but
Hey, Grit, will you make a perception check?
perception. I am perceptible. Speaking with this voice is not easy. I've got to get better at it. That is a huge number. So big. It's bigly. Perception. Well, that's actually 24.
Okay,
Math.
so Kris, with your investigation check, you find nothing. However, you have specified a very particular thing of searching under a mattress.
I just wanted a funny visual.
As that mattress goes down, as you see him putting it down, you will notice that under the mattress there seems to be a personal journal. Grit, you notice this.
What's that book right there? And I pointed out.
As you look back at the mattress, you see no book upon the top of the mattress.
There must have been a pillow or something on it before. That's why I missed it. I'll grab the journal.
Well, you've already put the mattress down, so like as you turn around, and look, you're looking at a mattress. You see no book.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
No, under the mattress. You just had it up. You pick the mattress up and look.
Lift it back up.
And as you will just clearly see a rough journal just tucked right there.
I would have found it if you didn't distract me.
Oh, sure.
Now I grab the journal and put the mattress back down.
All right. All right, cool. You grab the journal, and then both of you make your way down to the cargo hold.
I won't open it just yet. But
Okay.
is there any initials or anything on the outside? Any notations or interesting things on the cover at all?
So it is definitely just a very simple journal. It's very worn. In that regard, you do open as you kind of open it just like to the first page. You do see a pair of initials on the bottom right that just read BH.
BH.
Yep. As both of you hurry back down to the cargo, and you now have the journal of BH. Ori, as everyone else has hurried and scurried away, leaving you to go play around with a magical door. You will see the same door with the six arcane symbols, the 4 large circles in the middle, the 4 small circles to the off-right of those large circles, and then the 10 medium-sized circles, 5 above, 5 below, one of them glowing red.
As Grit left the room, I'm going to be in a very good mood, and I'm going to start singing a pirate shanty. Not actually doing any pirate shanties. I'm going to commit to this. I do magic and I drink rum. I like to shoot cannons just for fun. And I'm going to be yelling that at the top of my lungs as I sort of like skip towards the door.
For anyone trying to find Ori, you do not need to roll.
Can I go back downstairs, Bo?
Yeah, where do you want to head?
I want to try to find people. So wherever there's noise. So I guess if I hear Ori singing.
You will be able to make your way to Ori very quickly.
Can I fuck with the door?
You absolutely can fuck with the door. You can absolutely
I'm
fuck with the door.
going to study it for about 30 seconds. With a very serious look on my face, with my hands on my hips.
With your detect magic, it is indeed glowing.
Okay. What color is it glowing?
It's just enchantment. Nothing particular in that regard.
I'm going to nod my head very knowingly, and I'm just going to start touching it randomly.
Okay. As you touch the runes, they light up. As you touch a different room, the first room you touch turns off as the new rune turns on. And as you touch these runes, you start touching the center circles. They start lighting up. Do you at any point stop, or do you think that you will get to a point where you will have done a full sequence?
I'm just gonna keep going.
Great. Roll 40. Out of your random touching, what is the random sequence that you got?
I got an order: 3, 4, 5, and 1.
All right. You will do that on the right-hand side. Two out of those four little small, we'll call them lights in this entrance. Two of them will turn green, and then a second red light will come on.
Okay.
That was
And
actually
then-
very helpful.
And then after that, yeah, that's gonna be it.
I'm going to replicate the program, like the sequence on the right. You said that they turned green.
Just two of the four lights.
Two of the four lights turn green.
Not those symbols. Just
Okay.
they're just,
Yeah,
they're just bubbles. They don't
there's
have
like-
symbols in them.
Yep, four little small circles, and two of those turned green. And then after 20 seconds, all of your runes and those lights turned off, and now there are 2 red lights on out of 10.
I'm gonna be like, I bet Grit probably touched some of these, and I wonder if any of them turned green. And then we could combine the ones that he had turned green with the ones I had turned green, and then that way we could combine it and have a higher likelihood of having all of them turn green. I want to wait for him.
Hey,
All right. Yes.
Kris asking.
Uh-huh.
The two lights that turned green both times, they were the same two lights that turned green, correct?
That is correct.
Just like the first two or whatever.
That is 100% correct.
Copy.
Kris knows exactly what this is.
I and Ori do not.
I need a picture.
Yeah.
Have I found
I can
Ori?
maybe make one real quick.
Is this a Skyrim puzzle?
I mean, I just drew one.
I can't really see it.
I'll make it on the screen real quick. Let me go to... Well, let's see.
And it's not necessarily a huge deal because I suspect this is going to be done one way or the other by the time Calvin gets down there. So, no need to do it on my account.
Is it really?
I hate to give Ori credit for randomly pushing buttons, but it was technically helpful.
So there's your 4 large ones.
Where is this?
And then... it's on the map.
Oh, got it.
And then you got your 4 small ones that are right here.
Where the fuck am? Is there a?
On the ship? It's on the upper end of
Got it.
the northern.
Yeah, and so far you've got 2 of these, but there's a 5 in total. Which I know, this is a perfect masterpiece, a work of art. You couldn't...
I saw the look you both gave me earlier tonight.
Well, you deserve that one.
Fair enough.
All right, so there's your picture. And then there's 3 runes on the left side, and there's 3 runes on the right side. So that every time you touch a rune, it glows in the center of one of these. And then your 2 green ones are on these things. And there's just it's been the top 2 ones each time.
Did Ori get any 6s? Are we playing Goldfish now? Damn it.
Well, you will have to ask her. But Ori, as you wait, you will have Rowan, who will be the first to come down and meet you. And
Hey, Rowan, get over here and touch some buttons.
Buttons? What'd you find?
Just touch them.
before you'll see a metal door with the same arcane symbols and the same like rivet, like half bobble rivet outsets that everyone else has now been touching.
Clearly, nothing will go wrong if you touch them. See, I'm going to touch one.
Why don't we just knock it down? And I take out my axe.
All
I
right.
don't know. That's a good idea.
This is on the hull of the ship, isn't it?
to all 0 people that are listening, remember that Ori asks Temper why he is always in such a bad mood. This is what I'm dealing with. Let's randomly push buttons. Let's beat the door down with an axe.
Which you're actually saying that to 8 people, so.
Hey, 8 people. Now you know my character's pain. You get it.
Oh, no.
You totally get it.
It's just suddenly dropped down to 3. Never mind.
I'm sorry, 5 people, that I talked out of character. Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, so Rowan, as you talk with Ori, who wishes to have you push buttons on a magic door.
No, I take out my axe.
Okay.
No. I'm mostly kidding right now. Don't do that.
It's worth a shot.
It's
Get out of the way.
Please don't.
Get out of the way.
Temper and Grit, you will come down to seeing Ori acting a little nervous and blocking the path of a Rowan who's saying, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" with her axe in one hand.
On one hand, Rowan, I get it. But on the other hand, it's probably not good to kill Ori right now.
Ori, did you push any buttons?
I did. I got 2.
You'll notice another red light now on.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I was gonna try and knock it down with my axe.
I think we should be logical about this first, and then go to that.
Fine, I'll give you some time, but after that, we're just hitting it with the axe.
Give us 7 more red lights, and then you can do whatever the hell you wish while I stand at a very far distance.
Fine. I put away my axe reluctantly. So what? Are we just pressing buttons and then I go up and touch the door?
Where do you touch the door?
I don't know, wherever.
Let's just say you
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pick a number.
6.
All right, you touch the 6th room. The 6th room lights up.
Ooh, pretty.
Mm-hmm. It is staying lit.
Now what?
As you stand there, after about 20 seconds, if nothing else is touched, it'll the light on the symbol will fade.
Oh.
I think
You two have interacted with this door to get these lights to come on, I assume.
I think we're supposed to do it in a certain order.
So,
Can you explain to me how this works from your dealings?
Well, Grit, please back me up on this. But it seems like we touch one of the lights on the outside, and then we touch one of the sigils on the outside, and then we touch one of the empty places on the inside, one of the 4, and it will light up either green sometimes. And so it seems to be a certain combination.
So for her to have activated that rune that she touched, she would have had to also touch the door in one of those 4 slots.
Yeah.
And it would have glowed with that same rune in those slots. So it's some sort of passcode system.
Yes. See, Temper, you're so smart. Why are you so mad all the time?
so I also noticed
It's the curse of most smart people.
See,
I also
you say that,
noticed-
I'm usually pretty happy.
Maybe
Great.
that says something.
Great.
I also noticed that on the right side there where the 4 small sigils are, I got 2 green ones.
I also got 2 green ones.
Bo, do I recognize these runes at all?
No. I'm just gonna not worry about making you guys roll. They are generic arcane runes for.
Okay. I didn't know if they were letters in another language or something like that.
Nah, I'm not gonna make you guys spend 20 minutes to find out that they're just arcane symbols.
It's
No,
what
okay.
names.
I mean, it's totally fine. I just didn't know if it was. Take the next couple minutes to confer with both Ori and Grit of which runes they placed and in what order, as I jot down the information in my sketchbook and make a sketch of the door, just like I did here.
This one, get one again, and this one.
So let's pretend, if we were to pretend that these symbols were sides of a dice, we will say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you did 6, 3, 6, 1. That's what you're telling me, Grit?
No. It's 3, 6, 6, 1.
And I did.
You're sure it was 3661, not 6361. You've told me 2 different orders now. I need to know which one was correct.
I only told you one.
No,
I mean-
first you pointed. First, when you pointed to them to them in the order of 6361, and then now you're saying it's 3661.
Hey, Grit, make an intelligence roll.
Fuck. The fucking 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
You realize you don't really actually remember it anymore.
Fuck.
So you can keep bumbling all you like because you have said 2 different patterns.
No,
Well,
maybe
we have confirmed that there was a 3, a 6, a 6, and a 1. So that's something. Ori,
Well, I mean, maybe
which
like one-
runes did you do, and in what
Well-
order?
You seem to think I'm not intelligent, but I remember the order. It was 3, 4, 5, and 1.
Okay. And did any of these lights over here light up when you did yours?
Yes, I got 2.
You got 2. And you said you got 2 as well, Grit.
Yeah.
So, regardless of what the order is, you both had 3s and 1s in your combinations, and 2 lights were lit up. So, it is seemingly believable that 3 and 1 are at least somewhere in this pattern. Who knows? Because with all of your, it could be 3661 because that would put 3 and 1 in the same particular pattern.
Maybe
can't
it
say
doesn't
for
matter
sure.
what order you're in.
Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? But for now, let's assume that 3 and 1 are the first and last until we determine that it's not. I would like to step forward,
Mm-hmm.
and I will put in.
Mm-hmm.
I will put in. I will do the 4 all 2s.
You'll do
What?
all. You said you're gonna do all 2s.
Yes.
Okay. Give me one quick second.
Why would you do that? They're not gonna be 2. All 2s.
All
I
right.
want to find out if 2 is even remotely in this clue, and if this thing on the right shows me multiples or just you have a number correct.
With that, you put it all in. It's all there. Nothing happens, and after 20 seconds, your thing fades, and a red bauble shows up, a 3rd one.
Well,
So
we
there
know-
are no 2s at all in this clue, and we know that there are not 6s, 4s, and 5s because none of those no more than 2 lit up on both of your tries. So our clue is just made up of 3 and 1s. Now, what order I can't say, but it seems to reason that there is only 3s and 1s in that particular passcode. Can I please look through the journal and try and flip through to see if there's any numbers, any sequence of numbers written in any of these pages as I skim through it?
So you begin to read the journal. What's everyone else doing when this has happened? We may skip back over to Carl because it's been a minute.
Sure.
Do
Do that while I'm reading.
But as you read through the first page,
Mhm.
you see that that you read the page and it says this is my journal that is made in order to crack the code to the captain's vault.
Okay. Well, seems somebody else is interested in figuring this puzzle out as well.
Painful.
All right. So with that,
The last note is just if you fail, coral spike.
corals, nothing but corals. And you know what they say about corals? That kills people.
He kills people, Coral.
God damn it! Oh, fuck you.
I am a person of the internet, and not of the modern day, so I quote old memes.
Your
Anyway.
memes, you're dead, old man.
But badgers. And mushrooms. Anyway, Calvin, as you explore the navigational room, you will be able to find out. You don't need to read the roll; it's pretty easy. You will be able to find out their like aspects of their charter, their mapped out routes, things like that. Um, they were headed. It looks like that this vessel was not actually heading to Waterdeep, but was heading straight to Luskin, making a large delivery of all of its wares to a place called the Quarter Post. From there, it was then going back from Luskin with no wares back to Neverwinter.
Empty return to Neverwinter.
Empty return to Neverwinter.
Odd. Waste of a voyage. All right. Any logs, log books, maps?
Yeah, there's several maps, there's several log books of their prior journey. Prior to from where you were, they had stopped in they had stopped in Baldur's Gate, and before Baldur's Gate they were in Waterdeep, and before Waterdeep they were in Neverwinter. So they went Neverwinter to Waterdeep to Baldur's Gate, back to Waterdeep, then we're going to Luskin, then back to Neverwinter. That seems to be the cataloged outing for this particular vessel.
Okay, and when was their last navigational read of where they were?
It actually stops in Waterdeep.
Okay.
And that was several years ago, back in the dates of when the ship went missing.
That's also suspicious.
Now, as these charted and written logs show that, the maps show what you believe the activity afterwards, which makes you believe that they were intentionally not chartering their most recent trajectories and paths and objectives. They had an overall one that just for the actual charter and ledger, but they weren't doing more of a day-to-day in the aspects of like that. It seems like at a moment they stopped actually doing written logs entirely. But you can see on the map where there was definitely there was lawns drawn. You can see like pokes and prods on the map to where they were definitely utilizing skills to navigate from Waterdeep to Luskin. The map itself, even though it is weathered and worn, you can tell is a newer map since you have such a passive investigation of extreme renown.
So they were falsifying their log, at least by not updating it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't find any non-doctored log. Map is showing charting marks after the fact, but nothing that was updated in the log. Okay, I'm going to take the log and that map and put it into my satchel.
Okay. All right. So you get the log, but you now feel very confident on the aspect of what the trajectory and the plan of this both the ship and its crew were.
Their last marking on the chart. Do I feel? I'm not obviously a seaman, and I'm not taking navigational readings for my own where exactly we are. But I do have a good sense of dead reckoning. Do I feel like we're in that right ballpark?
Yes, it seems like the ship has gotten stuck. If anything, it is not. The last log point is further south of where you are now, which makes you feel like that probably what happened is whatever happened here, and no one had that opportunity or chose not to log it.
Okay. And no captain's log, correct?
No captain's log. With that, this makes you realize and think of something. You find yourself running back onto the deck, and you realize all the longboats are still attached.
Yeah. that does not surprise me.
Yeah. From there, you can make your way, I guess at this point, down to the cargo.
Yep. Oh, was there an ledger with their inventory?
Yes.
I'll take that as well.
You're gonna learn that they were carrying a boatload of simple clothes, rations, manacles, high quality charcoal, brimstone, oil, incense, and ink, and a box of high quality fresh herbs. And then there's just a section that just says highly sensitive personal cargo.
Okay, I will go down to the cargo hold.
All right.
And I'll go ahead and move at a brisk pace once I'm done searching.
Cool. We'll go back to everyone down in the cargo hold. What are you guys now doing? Having fun at Magical Door?
I'm sharpening my axe in a corner.
Just watching them, just waiting for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going through that journal to see if there's any more clues to
Oh, that's right.
what the code might be.
All right. As you begin to read through the journal, it states, the captain has been using this door for roughly a year now in order to store the most valuable and most personal of items that we transport. I've been very curious to find my way in, merely out of my own curiosity, and when the time is right, to make my fortune and then make my way out via either one of our longboats or other methods. So far, from what I've been able to spy on and learn from it, are a few things. You are able to touch the arcane runes, and then touch the place and where they are to go. It is a particular order and a particular pattern, and as I've seen the captain use it on one day, and I try to use it the next, it seems that the code changes on the daily. What I have been able to discern is that with whatever pattern is given, the four nodes on the right-hand side dictate which ones are correct and are in the correct space, which ones are correct and in the wrong space, and then gives nothing for those that are not in it. I've so far been able to discern that if a arcane rune is in the correct location and is part of this code, it will give a green light for it. If a arcane symbol is part of the passcode but in the wrong location, it will give a yellow symbol. It'll glow yellow instead. And of course, if the arcane symbol is not in it at all, it will give no glow.
Okay.
That is your first clue.
Okay. And never mind. I guess it doesn't matter in game.
So you now know how the thing works. Do you understand how it works?
Yeah, I'm just confused because Kris, temper is a different story, but Kris is confused because I thought I remembered the two passcodes that were put in, and that would make no sense that there were two because only one of their digits is similar, if I heard it correctly, but I must have heard it wrong.
So I can. What do you have written down for the first one?
6361. I thought the first one was 6361.
6361, and what do you have written for the second one?
3451.
Okay, those are correct, and they both told you that both of them had two green lights, which is accurate to what I told them.
One had a red, and they both each got a red light, I thought.
Well, they both got a red light for failing. You only get
failing.
You get a
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, which also would let you know you have 10 attempts within a 24-hour span.
Yeah, which I got that part, but
yeah,
if the green lights appear telling you that, because that journal just said specifically the green lights tell you they are in the correct place.
So it does not specify which one is. Sorry, let me clarify. It specifies that every green light specifies that one of the runes is in a correct location. However, it does not specify which rune that is.
Got it. Okay.
And if a yellow light comes on, it specifies that one of your runes is correct, but in the wrong location. However, it does not specify which rune that is. So that means out of 6361, two of those runes are correct and in the correct location, but you do not know
Got
which
it.
two.
Okay, I thought that they were corresponding with the spot
Yeah.
on the door.
Same thing with
was my
3 4 5 1. Two of those runes are correct and are in the correct location, but you do not know which one's out of those four.
Gotcha. Okay.
And hence, this is the puzzle.
But we, and
And
okay,
now
but
I
we've
can participate.
okay, but we've determined that there are. It's not just green or nothing. That there is a yellow light that would pop up saying you have a number correct, but it's not in the right location.
That is correct. That you have an arcane
But
rune the correct arcane rune, but in the wrong location.
What was
And
the,
so, and we've pushed all the runes, and we've never gotten a yellow light.
That is correct. You've so far somehow not gotten a yellow light, but gotten 2 green lights twice. It's pretty fantastic. Ori, what were you
So-
saying?
what was the first code again?
So with that, I'm gonna cut off what I'm saying and let you guys talk more in character.
So if we are,
So-
let's for all intents and purposes, let's assume that Grit unconsciously knew the correct thing first and pointed to 6361. Let's just start there, and we can change it if necessary. That got us 2 green lights, meaning that there are 2 correct responses in that code. And then you got 3451 and got the same result. 2 correct runes in the correct locations.
So
We've
if
not gotten any yellow lights, and we've pushed all the other runes.
So
So
this is actually good news because we know that the last digit must be 1 because those are the 2 numbers that both correspond. So
it does seem to point in that direction, yes.
So that means that 636 and 345, each one of those has 1 correct, and then the other 2 we still need to solve, and none of them can be 2.
Which means that 3 has to be either the first or the second.
Or both?
In fact, no, it means one of those 2 orders is wrong. And somebody misremembered.
Out of game, I didn't get mine wrung.
I
Not necessarily.
Well, let's not worry about out of game. Let's worry about in game.
in game, Kelvin would believe that Ori
That's-
probably remembered.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily true because they didn't have. It doesn't have to be the 3 that's the correct in either of those.
Really?
Yes, really, because it's specific to the spot. The green light means you got the right number in the right spot. It doesn't just mean that number is in the code somewhere. If that was, then the 3 would be the only thing that they contain. But it has to be the right spot. So it could be that the 3 was right in the second one, but not the if since 3 was in both, it is either that the 3 is correct in both of them or in neither of them.
I'm going to
Because we would have gotten a yellow if it was in the wrong spot. We've gotten no yellows, so no numbers were put in the wrong spots. But it could mean that it could be that the code is 33-1, for example.
That makes sense.
On that train of thought, Temper will push 3341.
All
Oh wait, no,
three-
sorry, 3311.
3311.
Sorry, 3311.
All right, you push 3311. With that, 1 green light comes on.
Oh.
So it wasn't the 3s at all
So
that were.
it could have been the 6 or the.
That verifies that the 1 is correct.
It
Well,
does seem.
but we knew that already.
Seems to be pretty confident that the 1 is correct.
I'm going
And
to
that one is only, and that 1 only appears the one time.
Yes.
That's our 4th test.
Correct. There are 4 failures so far.
Well, there could be more than 1 once. There could be more than 1 once because it wouldn't give you a green and a yellow. It would just give you the green that you have it correct.
Yellow at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
if
still
it,
never got
no,
a
if
yellow.
it has the correct number, and it's not in the right slot, it should give a yellow.
Right.
Yeah, but we've only put in I don't think it would if you put in 6 and you got it right, but there's another 6, I don't think it would then give you a yellow to say there's another 6. I think you would have had to put 6 twice
So I think
for it to do that.
That doesn't.
I
Because
think-
we've put in every number and we've never gotten a yellow. So it's clearly not duplicating it, saying you've picked every number, so we're going to give you that. Yes, those numbers are in here somewhere, because would be obvious. Yes, of course, it's one of these 6 numbers. So you if you want to know if there's more than one, you have to put in more than one.
Well,
And I've put in 2 1s and we did not get a yellow, so there is no 1 anywhere.
you did 3
and I-
2 1 1, right?
Yes, and I've put in that last one was 3 3 1 1. We got no yellows, so there's no 3 theoretically.
Hey, Bo.
If we are believing that the 1 is the correct, which
But-
is the thing that 3 out of 4 tries have had in common.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna push 6 4 5 1.
Okay, give me 1 second then.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
As you guys are discussing, Ori is going to the door and starting to push runes,
Hey, what are you?
and she pushes 6 4 5 1.
6 4 5 1.
With that, you get 3 greens.
Oh. 6 4 5 1. Yeah. Maybe it is.
So
Wait, it can't be 3 4 5 1. We only got 2.
I'm then going to go up to it again
It's not the 4.
and do 6 4 6 1.
Not the.
all right. Which is everyone just watching the Ori do this?
Yeah, we were kind of surprised.
Yeah, I mean Temper's just been pushing him, so he's not arguing
All
with
right.
other
So
people.
with that, you do 6 4 6 1. You get 3 green, no yellows.
6 4.
Was there any yellows in 6 4 5 1?
There have been no yellows. Period.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Oh.
Well,
This is-
that verifies that it would be 6 4 unknown 1.
Oh. That puts us at 6, right? Or 5?
6.
6.
Yeah, that was our 6th attempt.
There's only, if we think the third slot is wrong, there's only 3 and. Never mind. Oh,
It wouldn't be
can't
3
2.
because 3 was not in the wrong
Right.
place.
It can't be 3 and it can't be 2, and the only letters that's left is 4. No. Yeah, 4.
The only thing that would make sense is if. Wait, there's no way that we've not gotten a yellow.
You got
I
no
know.
yellows.
There's no way.
There. I mean, okay.
Great. Great's gonna run up and attempt 1.
All right, Grit. What do you push?
6 4 4 1.
You push in 6 4 1. The door.
Oh,
It
sorry.
opens.
Yeah.
You've cracked.
Yeah. It was the only available number left for the third column.
Yeah, I thought that I saw a 4 somewhere else in one of the other numbers, and
All right. You have.
We have had a 4, the 3 4 5 1, but the 4 didn't light up as yellow.
Nope. It
because
light
it-
up
well,
as
yeah,
green.
but it was because it was in the right spot. I thought
Right.
there was another 4 besides that, but I misread my own.
No, but
Right.
that does validate your theory of that if there's only 1 digit but it's in there twice, it doesn't light up twice.
Yeah.
You'd have to put in a second 4 for that to happen.
Yeah, I just misread my own scribbling.
All right, but with that, the door opens.
Calvin checks for traps.
Go ahead.
Probably should have done that before we opened the door.
Is my detect magic still up?
Yeah. Well, how long does it last?
10 minutes.
An hour?
Unfortunately,
Or 10 minutes?
it's faded.
Yeah, I figured.
All right. So that's 1 shy of the best I can possibly do on an investigation check.
Ooh.
So 33.
All right. You detect no traps.
I then go in. I
Okay.
proceed to investigate.
As all of you can go in, you will notice that there are 4 very distinctive and ornate boxes.
Ooh.
One is brown and green with a vine-like design that wraps around it. Another is black and white. The white are going to be snowflakes. It's very wintry pattern on a dark night sky. The third is blue, black, and red, and it is this picturesque viewing of a sunset over the sea. and the last box is black with red rose patterns across it.
Uh-oh. It sounds like there's about to be some pirate things going on. There's 4 chests and 5 people.
Well, I put in the code right, so
Allow me to check a few things before we get too excited. I will go and investigate.
Opens up all
and
the
I
boxes.
know where you found this door.
Well,
And the book.
we all work together, so that's not a fair...
That's not great. 24 to search the boxes for traps. Do you want me to roll per box, or?
You do not find any traps upon the boxes.
Okay. I go ahead and test to see if they're locked.
They don't seem to be locked.
The door was a pretty decent, protective measure. I will go ahead and pop them each open.
Okay. So he's over there. He's checked, and now you just see Calvin begin to open it. Calvin, which one do you open first? We got brown and green. You have the vine box, the winter box, the sunset over the sea box, and the rose box.
Our campaign with Jarlaxle was the summer, wasn't it?
It was fall.
Fall. Then I will go for that. So it's vines.
The brown and green, the more fallish colors.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. With that, does anyone else want to open up any other box?
I'm going to go for the sun.
All right. So you go for the sunset over the sea. Anyone else want to choose a box to open up?
I'm gonna open the winter box.
You're gonna open up the wintry box, and then who would like to open up the rose box then?
I just look over at Rowan and just hold my fist up. Quartz parchment of shears.
Nah, you can open it.
Quartz, I win. And then I'll go open the rose box.
All right. We will go with these just based on the order that I have them written down, which means we were starting with Calvin. Calvin, as you open up the box, it is it's a long and thin box, and as you open it, you can just see a very thin and old and yellowed parchment. As you begin to unravel it, you can tell this seems to be a very old and just dilapidated map. Make a history check at disadvantage.
10 plus my history, which is 9, so 19.
You do not know where this is. However, you know that it is not a part of the Sword Coast.
Oh, fancy.
The freeze. Wait, but everything seems to be running.
We'll guess.
Okay, that was actually just roll 20.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
So you're meaning to tell me that the stream heard all of your screaming?
The stream might have heard all of my rampant screaming. They may have been here been like, Jesus Christ, what is happening in this D&D game that the DM is screaming like that? And, I scream like any normal person screams. My internet fucking sucks. So with that, Carl, you take the map, you roll it back, and you put it back into the box?
Yep, and I go ahead and close it back. Figure if we're going to transport it, we'll transport it in a...
Oh no, did you guys miss my rampant screaming? Kenny said they didn't hear my rampant screaming.
Oh man,
you missed out.
That was just for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Just imagine if like a housewife was being murdered. Sounded like that.
And she was kind of into it.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Sure.
All right. Anyway, moving on to the next box, which is going to be the wintry box. As you open up this box, you open it, and it's a small box. It's about yay big. There's a large pouch on one side, and on the other side you see a large jacinth gemstone, and and then there's a separate little small pouch next to it. A jacinth gemstone is going to be more of like a deeper red burgundy color.
Oh.
Mhm.
Which
And
box was that?
this is the wintry box.
Winter.
And the tiny little pouch is like yay big. It's like a dime bag. As you open it, you will
I
see.
wouldn't know what that is.
I know, right? No
If
one on
anyone important is watching.
It's a bag you put your dimes in, guys.
Yeah.
Don't do
ban
drugs,
us.
kids.
Yeah. What are drugs? Are those like dirty rugs?
Yes.
D-rugs?
Don't do them.
Anyway,
Don't mess with dirty rugs.
in the small bag, as you kind of peer inside, it's a very large blue sapphire, and it's a royal blue, so it's a very, very deep blue. In fact, you thought it was black at first, it's in the bag, but as you pull it out a little bit and the light begins to hit it, you can tell it's a deep blue.
Ooh.
And then as you open up the larger satchel, it is a variety of different sized diamonds.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Holy
This will make a fine addition to my trove.
All right.
Oh God.
So moving
He
on
is a
to
dragon.
the third one, which let me erase all of this on the map real quick. Boop.
It's still there.
Boop. As you open up this sunset box, which is more deep than anything, the first thing you notice is a golden reliquary.
The lich.
And it has an emblazoned emblem on the center of it of 5 dragon claws. The base of each claw touches in at the center, and then the tips point outward like a 5-pointed star. Each claw is gemstone encrusted a different color: ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond, and onyx.
goodness.
Beneath that, you see an old scripture parchment, withered, barely holding on. And I will show you what is on it.
Ooh.
Oh, is it a spell scroll?
Oh,
Uh,
nice. Okay.
oh,
That's better. Worse.
I know some of these words.
Do you really?
No. Not at all.
I was like, if you know this, that's insane, because this is fucking Sumerian.
No, I don't know Sumerian. I know. It's
This is like suddenly.
surprising to everyone.
Yeah.
That,
This is when someone comes back next week. So, Bo, I've been studying Sumerian for the past week.
now I know that that's what I should do.
Oh, there you go. But you will see that.
interesting.
All right, with the fourth box, this rose, it is a longer, wider box, and temporarily as you open it, you will see a red-colored rod with notches and nodes upon its stave. There are markings that are made on it that you... What languages do you know?
I know. Common, Dwarvish, and Primordial.
That you cannot make out. And then the head of the rod is a 5-headed claw, claw prong that is holding a ruby skull. The face of the skull is morbidly accurate, where the crown of the skull is ornately cut, like that of a lady's wedding ring.
Okay, hang on. Say that last part about the skull again, like the whole bit about the skull.
So the face of the skull is morbidly accurate
To a real life skull.
to a human skull,
Yes.
whereas the crown, the top part of the skull, is ornately cut like that of a lady's wedding ring. So it has more of the diamond cut to it.
Oh, like a princess cut in like top of it.
Yeah, like it has facets. It has facets cut into it to look like a gemstone. So if you're looking at it just from the top down, it looks like a gemstone you'd see in a wedding ring. But if you're looking at it straight ahead, you're seeing an incredibly accurate and morbid skull.
Gotcha.
Made completely of ruby.
Gotcha,
Well-
gotcha. And there's 5 claws that are holding this thing.
Well, it's a 5-headed claw prong. A claw prong just means that they hold it like this.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's 5
Yeah. Well, yeah.
claws.
Yeah, 5 prongs.
Yeah.
They do not look like claws.
Sure. I follow.
I just want to make sure because we're in a fantasy setting and that'd be all too common.
Sure. Yeah.
Then I have a follow-up question about the reliquary. Were those 5 claws actually claws in that instance?
They are curved claws.
Okay, so they're just
You
holding the
would maybe
gemstone.
actually claws may not even be accurate. A better term would probably be talon.
Hmm.
You could use claw, talon would work, but anyone who is familiar enough with certain lore and certain gods and certain creatures that this game is named after would recognize this.
Dungeons, dungeons, right? Dungeons have claws.
I already figured out that the color coding on those gems was not ideal.
Hey, it's our favorite dragon. It's not
Well-
both.
It seems like we all have interesting things. I would like to point out now that's a good time. In some of the crates, there was, I would estimate about 2,000 gold worth of incense and ink that we can, of course, divide among ourselves. If,
I actually take a moment to pull out the ledger, compare the ledger that they had with the inventory that Grit and Ori came up with. Make sure it matches.
So Ori is referencing to one of probably 3 crates.
Okay.
There's probably
In fact,
so,
let me rephrase this. I pull out the ledger, which had the list that you basically went over with Ori, right?
and you present it of like with everything.
Yeah, I just like ask her. It's like going through the whole. What'd you find? And I just kind of make a note. Go over and it's like, and you thought you searched it as about as well as could be searched.
unless if there was a crate hidden,
All right, I may give it a once over before we leave.
but I have all of that in my bag of holding.
That's fine.
If you give me time, I can identify all of this. I'm not planning on doing any sort of trickery. We can divide it up. Would you like for me to identify it and for us to abscond before leaving the ship, or would you like for me to do it when we're safely back on?
How long have we been
If I
over
may,
here? Though, with some of my time dead reckoning that I have, do I know how long we've been over here?
We'll say an hour and a half. Not terribly long, honestly.
Okay. I would identify it here if we can.
and
It's going to
as
take-
I can do the same, I think we can make shorter work of it if we are both doing. So it's to save some time.
Of course. Do you have anything you would like to start with?
I'll start with identifying the rod that's in my hand.
I'll start with the reliquary.
Before you do that,
Oh, okay.
Ori, could I borrow your familiar for a few minutes? Send a message over to the ship.
I mean, I can just sure. And you're gonna walk here, poof, and then poof, and out, being handed to you.
I'll take it out on one of my bracers, being quite comfortable with the birds. I pull out some meat for it.
Opal just looks at it and just doesn't seem to care.
Put it back in my bird meat pouch. No, that I lie. I when I get back out on deck, I give it to Snaggletooth.
Snaggletooth.
I read a small note just saying that we expect to be headed back. In what? It'll take an hour, 2 hours to.
I mean,
identify
within
these
the
things?
hour, because it'll take 20 minutes total for both of these, or all 4 of these items between the 2 of us.
Okay. Well, I'll do that. Once I send the familiar off, I will go back to the hold and do a detailed search until they're finished identifying.
All right. So you begin searching. Feel free to make an investigation. You two will be using Identify on the Reliquary for Ori and for the Rod for Temper. Rowan, Grit, what are you doing during this time?
Oh, Grit has found a way to pocket all these jewels. I have delicately stored them in my backpack.
Are you trying to keep that from us?
And I would like to know when you do it, because I would like to roll a sleight of hand against my passive perception.
Oh, I'm not hiding. I'm just putting them away.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're...
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if Temper would ever think that the gems would necessarily be magical items, as they are just
Great.
a bag of gems.
If you don't mind, could we get those identified just in case there's something odd about them?
I mean, they look like normal gems, for sure.
Thank you.
All right.
I guess I will go back to the cargo and see if there's other cargo to open.
Sure, you can open up other crates. Amongst those items listed beforehand, which do you need me to reread the list for you real quick?
No, I wasn't interested in any of that stuff.
That's going to be what's amongst it.
Oh, any other crates are going to be the same stuff?
Yep,
Yes.
those 10 different variety of items are going to contain pretty much everything within the cargo hold.
Oh.
You can join me and see if we find anything that was super hidden.
Yeah, I guess I'll join Calvin to further investigate.
All right, so you further explore.
My investigate's a 28.
All right, and
Should I roll
please.
as well?
Yes, you can either roll or give Carl advantage. Your choice.
I already have advantage because I'm not moving with my full speed.
Never mind.
Then I'll just investigate on my own.
But you could move your full speed and then get advantage
I got 9.
still.
Okay. So I'll start with this. Temper, Ori, both the things that you are identifying have no magical properties.
They're
Interesting.
just worth money.
Gotcha.
Any luck with your item, Temper?
Just seems to be a fancy staff.
Yes.
Probably worth a good bit of gold, but nothing to write home about beyond its design.
Same. This one seems to be a dud. Let's move on to the next things.
Temper, you feel a heat in your chests, like a furnace being lit, as you...
Damn heartburn.
Yeah, heartburn. As you were inspecting this staff.
Got it.
So you feel as if there's a force convincing you that you need to look into this further.
Got it, but it's not magical in nature.
Nope. All right.
Somebody's stoking the forge.
Happens from time to time.
All right. So at that point, are you guys now? What are you guys looking to identify now?
I'll walk over to Grit and hold my hand out for the various gems, just to be on the safe side.
Fine. I'll head over.
And Ori, are you gonna do the map? I guess.
Yeah, I'll look at the map.
Okay.
And then
You can make a history check as well by looking at the map. See if you can
I think
identify.
technically we might actually be better served by a detect magic on the gems and an identify on the map. If I understand identify right, it's a singular object.
That is technically true.
Oh, then let me see.
You cannot identify a group of things unless they are somehow magically aligned with each other.
Yes,
Yeah,
which
hang on.
these gems could be.
That's a good point. I didn't. Well, yeah, but I didn't think about it in that terms. That's a good point there. 1 second.
that's a. Let me double check. It's going to be pretty high. Is that a history check?
Yep.
That's going to be a 22.
Okay. You know that this map is a very, very old map, and an original exploration map, something that predated the initial people who went to this location, and is something from well before anyone from the Sword Coast arrived in Chult. This is an old Chultan map that is leading to some particular destination in Chult.
I'm going to look at Grit and smile. Say, Grit, I think you might be interested in this. but we will discuss that when we get up to the ship.
It's not from Chol.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about that. That's out of game.
What the fuck are you saying about kobolds? We all come from Shoal?
Anyway, we'll worry about that later. He hasn't done that yet. You don't know what it's about. Anyway.
Ori, if you have a moment, I think our time is going to be better served me not individually examining every single gem in this entire pouch. Perhaps you could just see if there are any other magic items within this room.
With that
Sure.
temper, you can make a roll to discern the value of these gems.
What's the roll?
We can do an insight. That's good. That's a good roll for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can do insight.
I mean, I'll do whatever. It doesn't have to be all. It's a 17 on insight.
Would you?
Or sorry, it's a 20 or a 22 on insight.
Okay. And Ori, you cast detect magic, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ritual. I don't have it prepared.
Okay, no worries. With that, none of these stones will glow magical, and of course, the map itself is not magical as well.
There's nothing. Is there anything in the? Well, sorry, I'll.
No,
Ori
there's nothing in the room that glows magically.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, confusing. With that being stated, Temper, let me actually reopen that file real quick. I will tell you how much there is of each gemstone and its value.
Cool. I would probably know this because of all the inlays I do in blacksmithing.
The Jacinth gemstone is worth at least 1,000. The blue sapphire is also worth at least 1,000. And let me know when you're ready for the diamonds.
Got it. I'm ready.
There's one diamond worth 5,000. There are 8 worth 1,000. There are 20 worth 300.
Jesus fuck.
And there are 60 that are worth 100.
Fuck.
You discern this to be roughly $25,000 worth of diamonds.
That's perfect to bring somebody back from life.
That is indeed what you would need to use component-wise for true resurrection.
Huh.
Too bad the only dead person I knew is not.
Dead.
Too bad you're all grits.
Again, you keep assuming that I'm alive through all of this. No one's done a detect undead or anything.
Time to cast true resurrection.
Yeah, only way to know.
Yeah, but you have to ask the dead man to do it.
Yeah.
And you gotta ask him to gain a few levels first.
Cast True Resurrection on yourself. Let's see what happens.
And gain 4 levels. All right. So yeah, there you go. You have you've left with a fair amount of for items of variety. Calvin. Yes, Temper.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as I finish looking over the gems, one by one, I'll put the diamonds all back in their big pouch. I'll put the sapphire back in its pouch, and the jacinth was just by itself, not in a pouch, right?
Correct. The jacinth is by far the largest gemstone. It is by far the least rare.
Yeah. I'll package those back up, and I'll reach out and place them back into Grit's palm as I'm kneeling to kind of look, eye to eye with him. After all we've been through these last few months, you know that I trust you. But I want to be very clear that it is important to hang on to these. It is a treasure that people most won't find in their entire lifetimes in your hands right now. I can't stress the importance of hanging on to this and not misplacing it. Do you understand?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what they say about dragons and their treasure.
True, but just try and keep an open mind that potentially the value of these goes far beyond gold.
You're holding lives in your hands.
I'll keep that in mind.
And I'll hand it back to Grit.
That's a lot of gold for a tiny.
You know what? I don't actually believe in the existence of diamonds that are worth 300 gold pieces, because I feel like because of the specific necessity of them as a spell component, they'd be worth much, much more than diamonds of like finer quality and greater, like larger size.
But that would just drop.
What you don't understand though is that because we in the material human world, Earth world, understand that diamonds are intrinsically valueless because there are just millions upon millions of them, and we've artificially given them value. So the value that they have in D&D is based on the fact that they are worth people's lives, not because they are physically worth something.
And
because they are just carbon.
Wouldn't that
they are
cause
worthless?
like
They are useless.
I mean, that would just cause it's not like the spell specifies a size. It just has to be value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if the value of the diamond goes up, it could just be the tiniest little diamond.
That is true.
Well, yes, but again, this is D&D. We don't. There's no inflation in D&D. There's no market that's determining the value. We don't have a De Beers company in D&D that's artificially controlling the price of diamonds.
That is a fantastic name drop. The fact that you mentioned De Beers, I appreciate that. I applaud you.
Yeah, because fuck the De Beers company.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why do you think I left the fucking diamond industry?
Yeah. Fuck all of that.
All right.
Talk about some
All right.
dragon hordes.
Does my 28 find anything hidden in and around the hold?
As you search around the rest of the ship, because this is going to take about another 45 minutes from the search to finish all the investigating and everything like that, you will find a hidden compartment in the captain's quarters behind one of the books. And what you will find in it is going to be a Trisco signet ring.
What?
A signet ring of the trading company.
Oh, it broke up for me. Sorry.
Oh.
It like combined that word into one thing, so it was really weird sounding.
Ah, yeah, the Trisco trade. But you'll find.
And that's TRISCO, Trisco trading.
It is TRISCEAU. Trisco.
CEAU.
I think so. Let me double check real quick. That's how I spelled it. Yeah, TRISCEAU.
Okay, got it. Okay, I pocket that as well. And head back to the party.
Any luck finding anything?
Found a signet ring of the captain's hidden away.
With your detect magic glowing, Carl, do you present that or you just mention it?
He would have it in it already on his person at this point, which means it would be overwashed by all the magical gear he has. Unless somebody mentions that detect magic is going, in which case I might pull it out and take a look.
Well, you could probably presume since it was. Well, I don't know. You mentioned it out of game. Never mind. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I was doing a point of order.
Well, I might want to look at it later, but for now, I think we should head back. Unless if you all want to divvy up the things here and now before we head back to the ship, away from prying eyes.
Anything interesting?
Well, nothing magical, interestingly enough. I do have to admit, I would like that sapphire because of, well, she's going to gesture to the, fist-sized sapphire around her neck.
Because you like sapphires?
It's a family stone. It's more just fancy more than anything else. Beyond that, I didn't really see anything I was interested in beyond gold value.
Where's that map lead to?
I believe it leads to pre-human Cholt.
Cholt.
So I have no personal interest in any of these goods that we found here. However, they may become important negotiating tokens in our talks with Lord Neverwinter.
Of course, I should say, I'm going to hold up the piece of paper that's rotting away. I would like to study this. I don't need the original, but I would like to copy it down for further research.
Can I see the map of Cholt?
I'll hand it to you.
Carefully.
Bo, does anything about the map of Cholt seem familiar to me?
No.
Remember, I know a thing about Cholt.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. I'll do it with. Hold on, where's my intelligence? I'll do it with inspiration.
Ooh, inspiration.
God, I forgot about
eyebrows,
those.
eyebrows.
I don't think I have any.
You should. Have you used
I
yours?
think you do. Unless you've been using them.
I reviewed the list. I haven't gotten any in the last couple of games, and the last one I used to get grit something.
I got 15.
15. Since you're already thinking it, you think it may be related to the rumor you once heard? You think it's possible that whether you to the nth degree of how you believe it, that'll be based upon Rowan. But you feel like this makes you feel more concerted in that possibly being true.
Interesting.
Well, if you have any interest in this, I'm sure no one would argue that you could have it as part of your...
Yes, can I keep it?
Unless we have to trade it to Neverwinter for the good of Waterdeep. If that happens, I will try to see what I can do to make sure that people are reasonably well compensated for the exchange.
Oh, can I talk to you privately for a second?
To that, as you're walking away, I can make a copy of it very quickly tonight.
Okay.
I can probably aid you in that.
That would be lovely.
Can we whisper for a second?
Sure. Hi.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I remember correctly that the rumor that I heard about Cholt was about the Tarask.
In particular.
Okay, about finding the Tarask, right?
Well,
there wasn't anything.
Not the Tarask.
Okay, what am I forgetting then?
It was a horn that would summon the Tarask. So, it was rumored that somewhere hidden deep in the jungles of Cholt, there may be a horn that can summon the Tarask. You can maybe believe that this map is some ancient map that guides you to where it may be hidden.
Okay.
If you wish. That is purely up to your discretion. It is not you do not feel like looking at the map makes the idea far-fetched.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me back in.
That's pretty good. That's solid.
Rowan starts jumping up and down. Guys!
What now, Rowan?
If we get a chance, we should use this map.
To go to Cholt?
You want to go on a nice, gentle romp down hundreds and hundreds of miles of the Sword Coast down to Cholt, just on the whim of a map.
This map confirms a rumor I heard about a magic horn that can summon a giant beastie.
And you think that that's
a thing that you would want as the captain of a city guard is to be able to summon a giant beastie into the crab streets of your city.
What? We wouldn't summon it to Waterdeep, but we could either fight it or we could let it loose on Jarlaxle.
That is extremely inadvisable.
If you could control said summoned creature, Waterdeep does have a history of gargantuan beings defending it.
I
don't know if you can control it, but I know you can summon it.
Don't you need permission before you can do anything, Captain?
I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I'm not saying we would do that. I'm just saying it could come in handy. You could always bring it to our superiors or something.
I feel very uncomfortable giving you this map now.
Okay, pause for a second. Grit just asked what kind of beast.
Yeah, what kind of beast? Chosen's home to mini beast.
Legend has it that it's the fabled Tarask.
Oh, goodness. You...
Calvin knows exactly what that is, because it's in a Volo's guide somewhere.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Goodness. Rowan,
No.
you should not have this map.
No. That's the kind of thing that levels cities on when it's being lazy.
But it could destroy Jarlaxle, right? I mean,
it could destroy most of the Sword Coast if it put its mind to it.
I don't know. I've always wanted to meet one.
Well, that is a life goal. And I can understand the interest. But
at the very least, we could find the horn to make sure nobody uses it.
Calvin just kind of subtly off to the side, opens up his notebook, makes some notes. You'll have to tell me more about this when we're back on the ship. Where you heard these rumors, and from whom.
Okay.
Anything else anyone thinks they need to investigate?
With that being stated, can Grit and Temper both give me intelligence checks?
Oh. Why do you hate me?
I'm giving you opportunity.
Kaya, get that phone.
This is opportunity, Grit.
That's the this is the highest I will ever roll on an intimidate on a insight. Actually, that's not true, but it's the highest I have rolled.
Okay.
Or intelligence.
All right, Temper's getting you got an 18. Temper, you're getting a 5.
Oh shit.
All right. So Temper, you don't recollect anything, which probably makes sense. But Grit, you remember when you were in Port Nanmanzaru, and there was an obscene level of people who were being conscripted, mainly adventurers, to go on expeditions into the jungle. And it seemed like, based on what you were learning about it, that the descriptions of what they were doing there were relatively vague. Your brain you just kind of wonder if these things are possibly connected.
Maybe. Ooh, no, I'm not gonna say that loud. That Rowan would have noticed.
Kelvin does not want to go jungle delving.
Hey, and we did pass through Naranzaru, right?
You stayed in Port Nanmanzaru for, I think, like 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, okay. You know what? I think... I wonder if you heard that rumor from overseas. Maybe some adventurers came over. Because when me and Temper were there, they had a lot of, conscription for adventurers. Doing something in the jungle. It seemed too good to be true.
So someone's hiring adventurers to look for it?
Possibly. If that's the case, though, I don't think it would be so easy to find it, even with the map.
Kelvin sighs and makes more notes. in his notebook.
Fascinating.
Timber, don't you remember we almost went?
I did no such thing. I was hiding where we were staying because I was being hunted.
Oh, that's
Right.
right. They tried to get me in. They took me into a room, and they had this big presentation. And they tried to get me to buy cookware.
Were they trying to sell you a timeshare?
I still don't understand what a timeshare is. Like, how do you buy time?
It's
I mean,
it's mostly
technically-
just a scam. You can just ignore it.
Oh, well, that's
Really, the best thing to do is just to go to those meetings because they give you free stuff, and then you pretend to be interested, and then you just say no at the end.
That's how they get you, though. I had a roommate who said that they could get a free meal just by having these people come and show us how to use these really expensive pots and pans. And they were like, yeah, we're not really interested. We're not going to commit to it. We just want this guy to come cook for us and it'll be fun. And I was like, sure. You know what they did? They bought like $1,200 worth of pots and pans that they had to pay off monthly payments.
God.
Well, that's just them being dumb and falling for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that being stated, I did go to Disney World to go listen to a timeshare meeting, and it was great because I got to go to Disney World, and my hotel was completely paid for, and my Disney tickets were paid for.
Don't they usually keep you at the meeting all day though, or something?
No, it was like 2 hour. It was like a 2 hour thing on one of the days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. So.
All right. I think we may have gotten everything we're going to get out of here.
Okay.
So let's try to return to our vessel before whatever did this comes back.
Rowan's gonna mumble under her breath. Nobody cares about the Trask.
No, I care about it.
You did. Yeah. It's like, that's. Calvin will also nod. It's like, no, that's a very serious issue. And I will have to look into it.
We will have to look into it. We.
If I have my way, nobody will ever meet the Trask ever.
But this
Ever,
horn could still be important. It could still be.
Yes, you're correct. But nobody should be meeting Trasks. The Trask should stay wherever it is they stay.
I'm going to start gathering up the items and putting them in my bag of holding.
Hey,
All
Ori.
Temper is vehemently hanging on to the staff, so he does not hand it over just willingly.
Ori look at you, nod her head, and just like, of course, and then just pick up all the other things.
You should wrap it up.
It's in the box. I kept it in the box that it came in.
I'm specifically taking things out of boxes and putting them into the bag of holding.
I would definitely recommend the map stays boxed. It's old, fragile.
Yeah, I want to put. I'll nod my head. Put all the.
I'd like to pull out my magical poster tube and place it inside.
Into one of the small boxes and put it in.
All right. And do not forget that the reliquary also had an old scripture with it too.
Yes. Is it by any chance in Draconic?
No.
No, it's in Sumerian.
Yep.
Duh.
Well, I understand that we have a visual representation of Sumerian.
Now, here's a better question. Does anyone know why it's in Sumerian?
Nope.
I mean, I assume that it's gonna be Captain Nosferatu Nikto, right? Right.
It has to do
And-
with
It is indeed
what's his
related.
face?
It's a lich, and this is its true name.
Okay, so I'm assuming everyone knows what the symbol on the reliquary is 2.
Tiamat.
Yeah.
Great. Do you know where Tiamat's
Sure.
based off of?
Some Sumerian god, I guess.
Sumerian god of dragons.
Ah.
So it is a language that actually predates and/or somehow is coming from someplace else about dragons. Ye old god of dragons.
It is, yeah, but which I know is spoilery, but I was just thought it was really cool that I found that out today. I mean, not today. I planned this way in advance.
Yeah, of course.
I know this is slightly off topic, but speaking of things that we just learned, Carl just said ye old. It was never pronounced ye because that Y was actually the letter thorn, which looked kind of like a Y. So really, ye old is the old. Like it never, ye was never a word.
That's fucking fantastic, actually.
Yeah, I was like, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. But
Yeah.
So you don't have a yee-ass haircut.
Yes.
So
yeah.
what I'm also hearing is that we as a civilization decided then to just fucking make a word longer.
Yes.
Instead of this being 2 letters, let it be 3.
Yeah. Because there was a letter called thorn that stood for th that made that sound, but it was 1 letter. But then over time, it just started to look more and more like a Y in older scriptures. So when they wrote it down in the newer alphabet, they wrote it as a Y, so it became ye old. But that was never the intent. It was supposed to be the.
That's
cool.
That is actually really cool.
Yeah, I found that out.
So
the other day.
everything you
I thought it was
read that
interesting.
says ye old is just the old.
Technically, yeah.
That's cool.
It really means that Yeezy is Deezy.
Mhm. And when you yeet something, you're really just feeding it.
Oh.
Then the opposite of feet is thought.
Yeah.
And instead of yogurt, it's Vogurt.
Yeah, it was anything with Y, just replace it with TH. That was what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, this is exactly what you were aiming for. This is the goal.
For welcome.
You changed the course of human history forever.
Reverted it more like. Are we ritual casting for water walking again?
Yep.
Do we see the ship? More importantly, do we still see the ship when we get back out on deck?
Got anchored.
The spire is gone, and you see that the ship you're on is suddenly sailing at an incredibly fast pace of 20 knots. No. Yes. When you get back up, the skies have definitely darkened. A light rain begins to show.
Before we leave, I want to ask everyone. So, what do you guys think happened to this ship?
I don't know.
I was just going to ask. We never found any remains of the crew.
They're gone.
Yeah.
No blood, bones. Did I find any weapon catches?
Yeah, I think like everyone's weapons would have been wherever you would have found them, but they would have been like literally wherever the crew would have kept them. Nowhere in like you wouldn't.
Not
have found
scattered.
Them. Yeah, not scattered.
Yeah, there does not seem to have been any particular alarm, which means whatever happened here happened very fast, and didn't leave any significant traces behind. There's scratching on the deck, but I can't tell from what.
So strange.
And
I'm gonna start cutting away at the coral spike that's holding the ship up. I'm just gonna carve off like a chunk.
Okay. What are you using to carve it?
I'm going to start with the rapier. I just like tap it a little bit, see if that'll work, and then if not, I'm gonna
the poking
use,
weapon.
Yeah,
I mean, you could chisel off a piece with a.
As I see Ori trying to take her rapier into the coral, I'm just gonna pull out my hammer and just whack it as hard as I can to break off a piece.
You will be able to do so quicker than she will with the rapier.
Hate this. Oh, to be fair,
Please,
I've been watching a
for the
lot
love
of
of God, do not dull your weapon on the coral.
Oh, thank you.
That's a valid concern.
You know, I don't really ever use this thing. It was a good opportunity.
That might be the thing I've hated the most of all the things you've said so far.
Well, when I can do this, I want to shoot a firebolt up. In the end,
Let's go before the captain gets worried.
Okay. Anyone want to ride Snaggy with me?
I do.
Okay.
We'll huff it.
Have fun.
I'll
We
take
still
my
have to do the
10 minutes to.
Griffin.
Cat-
Like a
Oh, you still there?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I'm making sure the stream is good. The stream is good. All right. So you guys ride back. The rest of you walk. You will eventually all get back to this ship, where you'll see Nemi and her crew will help you get back aboard. They seem to be moving pretty rapidly upon the ship's deck.
Captain Nemi!
no more.
Rowan, how did it go? Did you find anything interesting?
Yeah. Have you heard of a guardian creature that looks like? And I try to I try to describe the creature that I threw into the ocean.
She goes, no, that sounds terrifying and exciting. Did you see it?
No, sadly, no.
Oh,
But
speaking of which, did we just leave that on the ship, or were we going to bring that with us?
I gave it to the sea. Remember? I told you guys.
Oh,
You did what now?
Threw it overboard.
You did not tell us that. That
Yes,
was
I
an
did.
option. That
I
was an
said
option
I-
thrown out
Sea,
into
and
the
then
group as an idea. You did not say that you were going to do that. You did that.
I did that.
She did.
Oh God.
It's in the ocean where it belongs. Maybe it'll come to life now, and we can see it.
Nemi, we should leave.
Wouldn't that be cool, guys? Nobody thinks that's cool.
Rowan,
Sure.
why would you? Rowan, I'll
You
make.
didn't even see. You don't even know what this thing was.
I
You weren't there.
want to deal with you, okay? Before you do things, I want you to consult others.
I did consult. I said we should throw it to the sea. Nobody said that was a bad idea, so I did it.
In our defense, we never said it was a good idea.
But next time you should ask me, and if you do, I will bring you the hearts of your enemies. Do we have a deal?
I will consider your offer, but I am my own woman.
Says the woman who takes orders for a living.
Under the rule of law, yes, but we are not under any kind of specific rule of law here.
Actually, we're
Last
under
time I checked, you were
law.
in his employ. Nodding to Calvin.
Sure, but nobody said not to. Oh, I wouldn't have thrown it away if you guys were like, don't do that.
What's done is done.
Thought it was a good idea.
I've heard worse. I'm not sure that either bringing it there nor with us or leaving it there are any better. And if it didn't show up on your initial scans for the magical, then
I was never able to see it, so I do not know.
I thought you ran around the entire ship scanning the rooms.
No, remember we had it in captain's quarters. Ori was never there. And then I went upstairs and threw it away after you guys left.
you did it! Yay!
Not to be done about it now.
No.
Also, I would have repeated my chucking of gold into the ocean.
See, I learned it from you, Calvin. You threw it in the ocean to make a good trip. It's good.
Yep.
Remind me again how she made it to Captain.
I keep the order. I keep the peace.
Captain Nemi Namora speaks up. She says, "Oh, come on now. Let's keep it energy. Let's keep it good. And how about this? It's just at the bottom of the sea. I could give you one of you guys the ability to breathe under the water. You can go get it."
Perhaps we throw you overboard and you go get it.
I mean, I could if you like.
That was a joke.
I just don't know what it looks like.
Didn't you see her impression? It was spot on.
I believe her impression was very good. In fact, I'm pretty sure that you're absolutely right. It was spot on. However, I won't remember it when I'm down there.
Well, there you go. If you want it so bad, we could go back and get it.
Not I.
I am far too fragile for that sort of thing.
I don't even know
I mean,
what
I
you
can
guys
fix-
are talking about.
I can fix that if you'd like.
Who, me?
Yeah. You. Fragile. I can make you less fragile.
I'm gonna look at the captain, kind of like nod my head off to the side, and be like, bring her aside, like, what can we do to help you get underway? What can I do to help you get underway?
Oh, we're well more than ready. We're ready to move. The storm is coming close.
Let's
It's
go.
going to be a rough night.
Oh.
All right, she says. Then we'll leave it behind.
If I die from a sea monster, I blame you, Rowan.
Okay.
Oh, that's only fair if it's the same sea monster.
That's true.
No, any sea monster. I don't care. It could have been an autistic representation.
Well, don't worry. I won't let you die from a sea monster. I'll protect you.
To be
You've
fair, you're
proven
more
that
likely to
before.
die from a land monster.
A what monster?
A land monster.
You're more likely to die from a pig or a deer than you are a shark.
It's true.
It's fucking what Grit is doing right now. Oh my god.
No offense, Rowan, but from personal experience, I don't count on you to save me from anything.
Well, that's rude. I'm going to saddle up next to Rowan. Rowan is strong and brave. There's no
And a
reason.
coward. And a coward.
Hey, I wasn't a coward. I did what I thought was right.
You listened to the man who spewed off about the ruling class and the inequities of it all, and then you went to work for them. Explain that.
Because I had a change of heart and I realized he was wrong. Well,
Congratulations, your change of heart came much too late.
Well, I can't change the past.
Obviously, or we'd have a statue.
I just kind of glare at Temper. And then I say, look, I didn't expect you to stay behind when we left.
He was only doing what he thought was right.
And Jarlaxle promised me he wouldn't hurt anyone. So I didn't leave you to die.
No, you took care of that for him. By knocking out your so-called friend there.
I felt like I was doing what was right in the name of Tyr and justice. And I turned out to be wrong.
Well, let's hope you're not wrong again.
Let's hope.
Captain, let's set sail.
Sail.
She goes, all right, if you're ready to depart, we'll do it. And she'd be like, let's go! Get the sails down! Let's move quick before the storm hits! And with that, the ship will, it hasn't for a while, immediately start flying, using the winds of the oncoming storm to bolster it forward and into further north towards Neverwinter. Is there anything that anyone's wanted to do with the rest of this day?
I'm probably headed below decks because I don't trust my boots to get me back to the ship if I go off decks. And that's the only thing that yeah. So I'm going below.
Yeah, I want to. Where's Snaggletooth staying? Has he been staying on deck?
He's
Like,
been staying on top of the deck. He's been like, there's like a spare crow's nest, and he's been kind of perching up there. Right now, you see him kind of cowering on the deck. Like, you can tell that he's like sensing the storm, and all the movements got him kind of flustered.
I'm gonna try to keep him company and soothe him, make him feel better.
Okay.
I want to sit down next to you and be like, I can help keep the rain off of him, but I won't be able to leave his side. Would you like me to do that?
I don't want you to do that if you can't leave.
No, it'll be fine. I'll be protected. It's sort of a magical sphere that will keep us warm and dry. Would you like me to stay here with you?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
I'm gonna start ritual casting Tiny Hut.
All right. Any particular color?
I'm gonna do it sort of like a dark gray, something that is visible but doesn't stick out.
All right. Is there any restrictions to who can come in or come out?
Nope.
Okay. Good, because otherwise you'd be really in the way of the crew.
Yeah, and I'll explain that before I cast it. Like, anyone can walk in and out, just ignore it.
Okay, cool. You go to like a decently remote spot and you're able to cast it. As Ori finishes the cast, a dome sphere, comes across all of you, and you and Snaggletooth suddenly can see everything still, and you can see all the raindrops as they grow heavier and heavier hit against an invisible ceiling and
That's
drip
so
down the
cool.
So
Wow.
it's that is interesting.
What?
Just curious as to basically it's supposed to remain stationary in the but if it's anchored to the boat. I was just looking at it.
I'd be willing. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
really cheap.
it's a hut anchored to wherever your location is at the time, which the location would be the deck of the ship.
I'm not gonna get picky about using a fucking umbrella. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, your umbrella can only stay on this one geographical point, which is X 13.06550. Why?
Yeah, and
45 point. Yeah, no, I don't mean it's fine.
But yeah, I'm gonna kindly across Snaggletooth.
It's a little tight in the space just due to Snaggletooth's size, but with it only being 3 of you, you're able to make do well within the space.
Cool.
Yes, Kenny. 5th edition is very loose with the umbrella rules to be forgiving to its players.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
Love you, Kenny.
All the love to Kenny, our actual dedicated viewer.
I know, I love it.
He's been here the whole game. He's been watching you guys for everything.
That's so cool.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You know what? Because Kenny's here, I'll include some of his comments, such as, "This couldn't be a more dangerous concept. Hey guys, let's use Godzilla to kill the BBEG."
To be fair, isn't that the plot of like almost every Godzilla movie?
Yeah, but
Yes, but the BBEG
actually
in a
is
Godzilla
big
film is
thing.
Godzilla
Yeah.
sized and scope. She wants to kill a dude with it.
So all we have to do is cast large on.
Man, I really don't like Trump. I
Go
better
full-
nuke New York.
Go full on Ken Watanabe. Let them fight.
Let them fight. Just Jarlaxo in the open field with the turret.
I pay to watch that movie.
Oh my god.
Legendary and Warner Brothers, if you're watching this.
Please make a film about a character that by a mythical creature that is Godzilla, but not Godzilla, so it has no marketability, versus a popular D&D character that no one fucking knows, except for
Who's just a guy.
who's just a smart dude who utilizes a lot of tricks and magic, which the Tarask doesn't give a shit about.
It is This is considered a short film. It's a short film. It's about 10 seconds long. And
Jarlaxle versus the Trask.
And composes of the face-off and then the Trask stepping on him. Fiend.
I like how Jarlaxle is just a core villain in disguise.
Yeah. Either that or Kelvin's the core villain. I can't. I'm not sure yet.
All right. Anyway, what is everyone else doing through evening or afternoon? Really, there's a lot of daytime still left.
I'm hunkering down with Ori and Snaggy.
I'm staying underneath because I don't much care for the rain. And so I'm just hanging out in my bunk and non-magically praying about this staff, trying to get some sort of other sign about it, but not confident that anything will come because it's not magic praying. It's just
I'll
regular
take
praying.
Can I roll a history check on the rod?
A history check, sure.
I'll allow it.
That will be 19.
You do not have any historical reference to this rod. Kenny has responded, you know it takes out ants? Nukes.
No more ants. Anywhere.
Unbeknownst to them, Jarlaxle is actually a cockroach, so he's totally fine.
All right.
Unlike some people, Jarlaxle is smart enough to run away.
Yeah.
While sitting on the deck, I'm gonna be reading until the waves get too choppy, and then after that, I'm just going to be doing little illusions. The book I'm going to be reading, it's gonna just have Walden's Pond written on the front.
What is it?
Walden's Pond.
Walden's Pond. Okay.
If anyone gets the joke,
is that a Walden's Porch reference?
No, Walden's Pond is an actual thing by Henry David Thoreau, but I don't understand the joke other than it is a real book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transmutation.
Oh.
Like transcendentalism?
Yep, but this is about transmutation.
Okay.
Ow. Gotcha.
Boo.
Transmutation dentalism.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
Kelvin is going to basically be researching the various logs and books.
The author is Henry David Euro.
Oh my god, making THs into Ys. You clever dog.
I'm sorry, Hen 3 David Thoreau. Euro.
Hennerth.
Yeah. Hennerth David Euro. Yeah.
Yeah, Euro.
There we go. We got it.
Hennerth David Euro.
Yep, that's the author.
Hi, I'm Hennerth.
That sounds like a D&D name, let's be honest.
Okay, anyway, so anyone else doing anything for your thing? Flash after plenty of time.
I'm just researching the various logs and such, taking notes in my ledger, in my journal.
Okay. Grit, Temper?
Grit's gonna be meditating.
Okay, Temper.
Non-religiously praying about the staff and sketching it in my sketchbook.
Non-religiously praying?
I mean, I'm not casting a commune or anything. I'm just non-magically praying.
Not investing with divine magics.
Okay, cool.
Oh
Yeah,
dear,
I don't have any of the magical prayers prepared today.
It's okay. All right, okay, cool. With that being stated, who wants to rule for the next day? Who has not rolled a second time?
I haven't rolled a second time. I've only rolled once.
I think only one person has rolled a second time.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, then...
But Virginia, if you would like to, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, let me roll. Which die is it again? 8?
A D10.
Oh, oops. Okay, D10. 4.
Okay.
Go sharks. Go sharks. Go sharks.
Don't tempt him.
So
TPK.
over the
Sharks.
night, the storm grows rough. The waters are choppy. The ship is being tossed back and forth. For all those who have not been used to this kind of weather, I need Constitution saving throws. So this is for everyone but Temper and Grit.
Soft 20.
Well, fuck.
Soft 20, baby.
Calvin?
0.
Baby.
Oh, bye.
That one?
Calvin just dies.
A natural 1 minus 1.
Yeah. All right.
You're
And
just
Ori?
you are dead, sir.
And a 5.
Okay. So both of you are unable to get rest throughout the night. You find yourself getting often seasick and being disoriented. Ori, you have 1 level of exhaustion. Calvin, you have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oof.
As the morning, as what
Woof.
you believe morning is and arrives, you cannot tell. The waters are just as choppy. The stars are just as dark. The storm is growing and brewing stronger. This entire day will be encapsulated in the storm. I will need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's an advantage for me, isn't it?
It's a new day finally.
18.
Okay,
I'm using inspiration for the record.
gotcha.
No, that's I have disadvantage on my ability checks, not my saves. Or does that factor into saves too?
Nice.
I think it's 3. We get failed or disadvantage on the save.
Yes, you're right.
Ori is not doing good.
Which I'm gonna get if this also results in a level. I might die, guys.
Yeah, I'm also not doing good.
If we knock him out,
JG, did you say you were rolling at disadvantage?
Yeah, because I have 1 level of exhaustion.
That's just checks, not saves.
Oh,
that's 3 levels of exhaustion that gives you disadvantage on saves.
interestingly enough, I rolled 6 on both dice. So
All right,
well, there you go.
That's a new level of exhaustion. Calvin,
I got a 7.
that's another level of exhaustion. Temper,
TBK.
16.
all right. Grit,
17.
all right. Temper, Grit, Rowan, you all pass. All right. Who wants to roll for the next day? Unless there's anything that someone want to do during storm day.
I would like to cast something. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull it back up again.
Good.
Now that it's a new day and I have new spells prepared. You can go to somebody else in the meantime while I draw.
Ori is going to be throwing up on herself, holding on to Snaggletooth and sobbing lightly.
No. Do you have to have constant? Oh, never mind.
You're doing what, Ori?
Throwing up occasionally, sobbing lightly, and holding on to Snaggletooth.
Nah.
I'm gonna try to comfort you.
Oh.
I'm gonna pat your back.
Yeah, she's not having a good time. She is not having a good time.
I'm gonna hold your hair out of your face as you puke.
And with a lot of this, you're finding yourself having to go below deck because above deck is so just wet and volatile. So you're oftentimes just trying to vomit into a bucket.
Yeah, Kelvin didn't even bother not trying to make it to the top deck. He's just dying of literal embarrassment down here.
Where did we go?
Saves.
All
Where's
right.
a paladin when you need one?
Was anyone doing anything for this second storm day? The day where the storm
Dying.
rages on all day long?
Just
Dying,
trying to die as slowly as possible.
Well, Temper, it looks like it's on you, but while you figure it out, who wants to roll for the following day?
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
D10, right?
Yeah, you should totally get a 4.
4. Give me a 4. No, in the thing. Nope, not a 4. It's a 6.
Okay.
Sorry, no ghost sharks.
I mean,
Or-
don't
You don't know.
assume.
You don't know.
Amphibious terrace.
Each day has a different, table.
Great.
The last day is just kaiju. It's all die rolls lead to at least one kaiju.
So just amphibious Tarrasque. Got it.
All right, Tempers, what you doing?
Okay. Okay. Would obtaining this staff be considered a goal, event, or activity?
Would obtaining the staff be considered? Oh, what?
No, I'm going to just skip out on praying because I don't think that this what I wanted to do I don't think applies because of the language of the spell. Well for this, but I don't have the components for it.
Rip.
Not think to grab a bunch of those from the ship. I just grabbed a little bit of sulfur. I did not grab incense, which I should have.
All right, I'm back.
Well, I mean,
Well, if you ask around, you might be able to solve that problem.
True,
To be
but
fair-
Temper doesn't know what you guys took. He doesn't know you took anything.
She mentioned in the group setting that she had.
Am I frozen? I am frozen. But I'm connected. So it might just be roll 20, baby.
Walks up, grabs your bag of holding, and leaves.
I'd like to see you stop me.
she wouldn't.
You can try, bitch.
All right, sorry about that. I have returned.
You're good.
Oh yeah, baby.
So, okay, so you're not casting any spells on this day?
No, because I don't yet have the proper stuff based on the proper spell to be using.
Gotcha. Okay, then the day will pass. The storm will continue onward. And as the next day hits, the weather immediately clears. The skies are a beautiful blue, and the storm winds have calmed and are now blowing intensely in your favor.
I
And
rolled good.
You did. You indeed got the
Boo.
best roll you could have gotten.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And with that, you'll hear, as most of you are down deck, still with your exhaustion, it carries over to this day, feeling pretty terrible. You'll,
I feel great.
yeah, you'll hear from above Captain Nemi Namora, "Land ho!"
Damn, ho.
And
Don't
anyone
talk
who's-
about my mom.
For anyone who is up above on the top deck, as you look across, you will see a cliffside in the distance and the beautiful towering spires of Neverwinter there to greet you. You have arrived.
Woo!
And that is where we'll call game.
Woo!
Ori rolling up.
Yeah, definitely still almost died from just seasickness.
Yep. So it is. So you guys will kick off next game with you guys reaching Neverwinter. It will be early afternoon. Thanks to Steven's roll, it did not require the whole day.
Sail!
So
Ooh.
Which means I didn't have a chance to just sleep for another 8 hours. Damn you, Stephen.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're
so-
sorry. Sorry.
So yeah, so with that, that's going to conclude game. So if you want to go ahead and give initiative, or not give initiative, but give inspiration.
We have no initiative here, Bo.
I know, there's no initiative. 0. All right, but if you'd like to go ahead and give inspiration for the player this game, please go ahead and let everyone know who you'd like to give it to, and then that'll wrap it up and we'll conclude.
I will give my inspiration to Stephen, A, for being the actual reason we saw the journal that led to us having some proper information, and then B, being the one to actually finally solve the puzzle.
And he found the door.
Well, yeah, but I mean, literally anyone that walked in the damn room would
Yes,
find the door.
that is true.
You don't get credit for that.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Anyone else?
Mine's also going to go to Grit for for just committing to the voices.
The best one yet so far.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to know if Grit talked during that day of travel.
Probably.
Nope,
Am I
he
going to
was
make up a
silent the
voice
whole
for
time.
it? No. Because this is becoming insanely more difficult as the story progresses.
I mean, it's got to loop eventually, right?
We're going to find out.
You're just very lucky because I was super tempted when we got back to the ship to make a big deal out of just talking to Grit and having a conversation just to make you use that voice more, but I decided to be nice and didn't do that.
Yeah, for solving the puzzle, for just doing monk shit. Fuck yeah.
I don't think I did a monk thing this entire game.
You ran really fast to go find us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give mine to Rowan for trying to break down the magical door with her axe, for chucking the sea monster over the side,
The idol.
for getting super excited and introducing extra plot lines that Calvin wants nothing to do with, but is going to have like follow up on.
She is very much our bull in a china shop. It is amazing.
Like she just introduced an entire
Trash!
worse.
I want to break shit. I want to throw shit overboard, and I want to fight big monsters. Like that is
because now I'm gonna have to divide my attention between dealing with the Duralaxle Waterdeep internal issue affairs and following up on this goddamn horn that may or may not summon a Tarask, because that's important to certain people.
What if Duralaxle is trying to get the horn?
That seems like overkill.
I mean, he was the one that theoretically gave the letter to the captain of this ship who had these things in his property. So Duralaxle theoretically would know about the items on this ship, including a map to go get said horn.
Oh God! If I swear to God, if Duralaxle gets his hands on these things purely because we brought it back to fucking Waterdeep, I'm just going to kill everybody.
I'm going to give my inspiration to Ori for pressing buttons and singing sea shanties.
I'm going to give my inspiration.
That shanty. I came up with it too tonight. I was like, fuck, she wouldn't know any sea shanties.
Nice. Grit?
I'm going to give mine to Temper for giving me the diamonds and the jewels back and not just keeping them.
That was very hard for Kris, but Temper doesn't feel like he has any more claim to them than you do. But Kris was like, diamonds. Like, as soon as Bo said he said the ginseng, I was like, meh. He said the sapphire, I was like, meh. And he said diamonds, and I was like, diamonds?
Was that plural?
Did you say 5,000 gold? But
and he was like, let me explain these diamonds to you. And I was like, sure. And he says there's like 1,000 diamond. I was like, man, or 5,000 diamond. I was like, shit, that's a big diamond. Okay. And then he says 8 of the 1,000. I was like, man, that bag was awesome. And then he just kept going, and it was bigger numbers every time. And I was like, what the fuck is this bag? And then it was 25,000. And I was like, oh shit, I know what that means. Yeah. I can't do anything about that, but I know what that means.
Yeah, you guys, I don't think I've talked too much about everything in there and whatnot yet.
No.
Nope. Really. I tried to stress on it to Grit without specifically saying why it was important.
You just told him it was important, and he already thinks the same thing about it.
Yep, just for a completely different reason.
Yep. This is my...
Right. And we are giving out 2 inspiration that is going to be given out due to the viewers' choice.
Hey, we got viewer choice award.
What?
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yep. So 1 is going to Ori for figuring out 3 of the 4 numbers. I'm just going out for it and figuring it out. And another one is going to go to Temper and Rowan for your inner party drama.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that was the last of it.
Yeah. Because if we actually have viewers and whatnot, I will totally give you guys inspiration based on what their favorite moments and what they loved. So.
Yeah, that was a pretty good moment where we just started arguing about we didn't go deeper, but we started to scratch the surface of that argument, that conflict.
If you guys
You have a
wanna-
little.
If you guys want to mark that inspiration in particular as the viewer inspiration, so when you use it, you can let everybody know, like, hey, this one's from the viewers. Please feel free.
Copy that. Yeah.
What's our inspiration cap again?
3.
Three.
You cannot have more than 3 inspiration at any given time.
That's
Okay.
why I tried to use some this game because I knew we might get some inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had 2, and then I used 1, so now I'm up to 3 again.
All right.
Not again.
But with that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call game. We're gonna call it right there. So thank you
Bye,
everybody
everyone.
for watching.
Bye, viewers.
Thank you all of you for playing, and we will see you next Sunday where they finally get to go into Neverwinter and see if they can get some answers.
Woo! What could go wrong?
Don't count on it.